I was not ready for that.
You like that?
Well, first I get split band and the zoo scare.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that either.
Producer Sony put that together. Welcome everybody. Happy Halloween. We're a couple days early, but that's okay. We are talking spooky things today. We're also talking news, and we have our buddy Aish back on the show today.
Yeah.
Aish Talks Tech. Welcome, man. You got a nice green
Hey,
glow
everyone.
about you.
It's Halloween, man. Gotta keep it spooky.
My kids have those books. You guys have these books, the creepy carrots and the spooky underwear, creepy underwear books for your kids. They're so good.
I've never heard of those. No. Well, my son's a little bit older now, so kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'll pass that.
Some parent out there will recognize what I just said, and they'll be like, "All right, those are." Such
He's more into like Steven Universe and all that type of stuff on Cartoon Network.
What about Ben 10? Is that popular now?
I keep trying to get him to watch it, and he's like, "Nah." I was like, "Dude, mostly because I want to watch it again, but I don't want to watch it alone because it's gonna be weird." But he doesn't want to.
Well, yeah, I know. It's hard to get your kids into stuff that you like. I've really been telling like Ewok stories and like Return of the Jedi, showing the cute Star Wars characters to my son, and he really caught on to the Ewoks, but he's not sure about everything else. And so it's like, oh, you can't force your kids to like what you like. You got to let them. They find their own things. You know, he's super into.
I tried that with Beetlejuice. That didn't go so well.
She liked
Got
Beetlejuice.
freaked out. The guy with the little head. She got freaked out. She couldn't do it anymore.
My son's really into like creepy stuff, so he loved Beetlejuice. But it's like the normal kid stuff that I just can't get him to go into.
Yeah, I know. It's tough, and they find their own thing, and then you know, it's interesting to watch and discover through their eyes. You know, like oh, you really like this random thing I've never heard of, but okay, I can grow on me. I'm trying not to be an old fuddy-duddy about all the new trends.
Yeah,
I can try it. I can be cool.
I'm just not sure about that Sigma Riz Ohio. I hope that skips my kids.
What?
I think it'll move past them.
I don't know.
What? Okay, so what's up with Ohio lately? Because my son just told me like he thought Ohio was the most dangerous country in the world, and I'm like, dude, Ohio's not even a country. What are you talking about?
Well, as you saw from our intro video, Zoo's from Ohio, so
zoo means it's like mid. It's not really a good thing.
Okay.
That'll tell you everything you need to know. Also, what about this picture?
That's nice.
This zoo is great as the neighbor. It's perfect.
Mikolov made that recently, and I had to share that. I also wanted to start up the show with something very near and dear to my heart, Stubbs Nubs. Dandolph the Gray 30, this is self-promotion. A testimonial here. Nubs seem like they were made for the low joysticks of this RP Mini device here. They've never helped more. Look at that. Aish, now I invite you back on to say, now do you understand that the nubs are doing it?
I've always understood. Well, I've been Team Nubs. No, because as soon as I got it, I immediately put on Vita stick caps. You know what? Just kept those on there.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. You know what's upsetting to me? Have you met Derek yet? Have you talked to Base Derek?
Yeah, we talked. Well, we talked a little bit the other day.
Okay, well, he apparently is making a joystick, a 3D printed joystick that he's going to start showing off in his videos. So we're about to have an accessories war on the channel, inter-channel accessory war. So I don't know what he's going to call it, like Derek's Wood. I don't know what do you? They're like little.
That's definitely what he should call it, Derek's Wood.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Derek's Joy.
Hey, now we gotta. Hey, we have a show to run. Everybody,
Yeah.
We got to get into this.
I forgot about that. I forgot.
Professional production. No, it's good to have. Anyways, it's good to see you, man. I haven't. God, I don't think you and I have spoken on video since your last episode.
No, we haven't.
It's good to see your beautiful face.
Yeah, what have you been up to? I think everyone wants to know. Like what? So now you do look like Retro Jesus, truly. Like you do have.
Dude, I keep getting the weirdest ones.
Yeah.
Like one of the first, because I normally didn't show my face in videos a whole lot, and then I started doing it, and then one of the first comments was so this is what Endor does in his time off, or somebody was like, you look like the guy from Alan Wake 2. What was the other one?
That's good.
Dude, seriously, what's your hair routine? I just keep getting like these, nothing to do with the video.
Well, see, if they watch
all right,
RH
that's cool.
podcasts, they would
Yeah.
know your hair routine.
Yeah.
Well, people do the same thing, like with my thumbs, like never will leave comments in the video sometimes, just be like, it was like, I appreciate somebody with Hobbit thumbs who's able to make these videos. And it's like, oh, thank you.
Hey man, it's algorithm love. That's it.
I know. We had that segment recently where people were like mean comments, right? And we had that, and some people were like, no, don't do that anymore. But now we're getting the opposite. People are like, why would you remove that segment? Please bring that back. We like the mean comments. And I'm like, okay, maybe we do bring those back. We'll see. But that was fun, and that's when I wanted to feature.
Dude, if I can get
every video.
If
always.
somebody has like a funny mean comment, I'm all for it. I love those. As long as it's funny. Like if you're just being a jerk for the sake of being a jerk, then no.
Those ones I skip.
Yeah.
But when I laugh, like it's meant to maybe to be trolling or mean, but I laugh at those sometimes. Like I'm like, that's pretty clever. That's pretty good.
It's like a good your mama joke. Like, don't be talking about my mom, but that was pretty good. Like,
having said that, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Appreciate the art form of your comment. The artistry of it. Well, we also have Rob the Retro Tech Daddy tonight. As you know,
Hey guys, hey everyone.
He's vibing in his purpleness, and we have Dan Unboxed. Hello, sir. You have a spooky background as well.
Somehow it keeps looking faker every time.
It's not fake.
Aish with the zingers.
It's the lamp.
Like it's the lamp now. I can move the lamp.
It's not gonna help. Like it looks like you AI'd it.
AKNES says he.
An
NES. An NES.
It's gonna be one of those days.
That's how you say that. Gosh. All right, guys. Listen, we gotta hop into this. So everybody, we have I'm not gonna say it's a packed show, but it's a packed show. Okay. There's kerfuffles happening. There's news, there's delays, there's new handhelds. I have e-waste to unbox and share with you all, one of which might surprise you. And then we have to talk about the latest, greatest Android stuff. And also, AliExpress has their Halloween sale about to start, so we might take a look at a few of those deals if we have time. And I have to re-roll. I have to do some journalistic integrity and say I was wrong last episode when I rolled the winner of the Gulikit bundle. That winner actually was the winner from the last giveaway that we had cached in our system here. So we displayed their name on screen because it was saved, and our producer thought, oh, there's the winner. And I was actually at the time doing my randomizer wheel to select the winner in the moment, and we had a misfiring in communication. And so it displayed our previous winner, who happened to win again here. And so we did send them a controller. I sent them another different controller, and they were okay with it because they had already won the controller that we were giving away. Long story short, I have now re-rolled for the actual winner, so we're going to also get into that. That was a whole lot of word salad, everybody. But let's get into the show. To start things out here tonight, we have, that's right, Rob, you would say, oh no. Thanks for commenting on my video today.
That was such a good video.
I had a comfort stubs last week.
That was a great video still.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. There's a 3-minute long cut coming, so stay tuned for that.
Oh, I can't wait.
But so if you saw the thumbnail to this video, you were probably wondering, is that really the RG 406H? Because let me preface this and say there was a patent design for something called a RG 405P that came out some time back. And that patent, we don't know if it's real. There's been rumblings around the casino of, oh, yes, the P is coming, or other like or patent-ish,
All right. Sorry. I tried. I'm sorry.
Can't derail.
It's been a while for
we can't do it this.
You gotta let him have a few.
Come on.
We're only 9 minutes in here. We gotta keep going until it's done. All right. So the Anbernic RG 406H in our thumbnail, actually Aish created from the patent drawing of the P, but Anbernic has said we don't know what the 406P is, and they're not sure about a 406M, but 406H apparently is a thing because Channel Nitrix reported this and showed this internal housing of something called an RG 406H. So this is supposedly going to be the 406V with horizontal form factor. You're getting some stacked shoulders there, some analog shoulders. You're getting that same IPS most likely. You should get those fixed sticks. And that's all we know. We just see the back of it here. And so it was a creative endeavor. So Aish, what are your thoughts on this one, man?
First off, I love how Anbernic says, like, oh, we don't know what that is. Just like they said, this is the last
the
XX
motherboard
device.
has
Yeah.
RG 406H on it.
Exactly. Like, we don't know.
Like, it
what
looks
that
like a
is.
legitimate marking on there.
No,
So they
yeah,
didn't say no to the 406H. They said, let me go
Yeah.
check with like my higher ups and they're going to report back. I was hoping before the show tonight. And so I might get something during the show, but we'll see.
No, this is
Always
how it
seems to
goes.
happen.
And then tomorrow morning, there's going to be a video showing gameplay. And then by next week, we'll have review units. And that's the Anbernic thing. But this one actually kind of does make sense, in my opinion, because they need an answer to the Retro Pocket Mini. And right now, from what they have, they don't really have an answer unless you want to take the Cube kind of in there because it's kind of a 3.5-inch screen for a 4x3. But they don't really have anything that's really competing at that like high-end 4x3 screens yet outside of the vertical, but that thing's huge. So I think it kind of makes sense for them.
You know what? That kind of does. Whatever people keep saying this, no matter what it is, they don't know what it is, but it is shipping next week. I love that comment from Quadzilla.
Yep.
It's true though.
The comments are just great. That's why I keep giggling.
I am certain about this. I am certain that there is a horizontal 406 device coming in the next month. I am certain about that. What is it called? The P? Is it called the H? Is it going to be a metal variant? Now they did say, I did get this out of them, that they're going to make less metal shells in general. Very rarely will they do metal shells now.
Makes sense.
And they're naming this the H, implying there will be no P and M variants. That will just be this plastic H. That's as much as I can deduce. And 4-inch display is, you have to assume that too, right? So the 406 and that, active cooling.
Metal handhelds kind of suck, in my opinion. Like, the idea is cool and they feel really nice, but when you actually think about a handheld, like especially a small one, you want to be able to put that in your pocket.
Right.
It's going to be really heavy. Plus, the cost of making those is way more expensive, so you end up having to pay way more for it. I would much rather they make a plastic version, and it's going to be a little bit cheaper, and you're actually going to be able to put it in your pocket. In theory, cool application. I'm good without a metal handheld.
It adds cost too, right?
Yeah,
it just
it does.
Extra.
It's more expensive.
It's more expensive. It's heavier. That's my thing with
I think
metal.
that's why Anbernic is probably not going to be doing it as much, just because of the cost. I mean, doing all the CNC work for that. I mean, that's it's not a simple process. So
then you have to deal with Wi-Fi issues and heating issues and all that stuff. Because essentially, especially with a higher powered chip, it turns into a giant heatsink. So then it's going to get really warm, and that's like everybody complains about that with like the 40XX. What was the number one complaint? It gets warm. Well, a metal higher powered device is going to be worse.
It's all just one big like heat sink, essentially.
Yeah. Black Seraph would love that, but the rest of us are like, no, we don't have arthritis-y hands. We're good.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask me, I feel like the metal handhelds now, at least, it really only makes sense in some like small niche use cases.
Yeah,
like
give me a Metal Legion Go.
Okay, maybe not that one. I was more.
I want that.
How about a metal Ionia cone?
I want that MacBook Edition Legion Go.
Oh no!
I saw those drops. I was going to talk about those new leaks dropped tonight. I mean, do we want to look at that? Do we want to segue already into something different? Because I do want to talk about it. It's just, what of those are real? What of those are concrete yet?
We know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's Anbernic. I mean, they already are teasing two different handhelds at this point. The Arc is another thing too. So I'm like,
well, and the Arc, so that actually had a really nice looking render coming straight from Max Zhao's account. And so people on Bilibili, and people are saying, hey, is this real? So you're getting the Arc as an XX H700 device. But that one, they said no. That one, everyone's unanimously saying no. This is not real. This is not happening.
I feel like they say that about every one of their.
But then
they
exactly
say
grain
no,
of salt.
And then
yeah.
tomorrow the trailer's going to be up.
And then the trailer's up, and then we get it. And so we can't say for sure that no, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So is there an RG Arc XX coming? Maybe. And I believe, if I remember right, it was Max himself who said, like, no, that was just
fly, though.
Yeah, it's kind of a pointless one, maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah, I guess if you want a Genesis handheld.
Yeah, but they already made that. They already made a Genesis handheld.
What are you looking at? Saving $10 on this device? I mean, it's like I don't know what the purpose is,
And it's not going to play Saturn, right? And so very well.
The Saturn barely played Saturn, so come on, guys.
Okay.
I knew Rob wasn't gonna like that one.
Yeah, he went right for me on that one.
I know.
Went straight for the jugular.
No, I've actually been trying Saturn, and I'm coming around on Sega slowly.
What's your favorite Saturn game, man?
I don't really know if because it's not really a Saturn game. I played it in the arcade, but it's House of the Dead.
That counts, right? That's
I mean, it's still a Saturn game, but it's one of the
Okay.
few that I always go back to because I love that game. It was a fun one, and I actually have some nostalgia for it. But the Saturn in general, I've been exploring it, but like Sega Rally doesn't really call to my soul in any way.
Well, have you played Typing of the Dead? That's interesting.
That's a
Typing that was Dreamcast, but yeah, Typing the Dead is awesome.
Yeah.
Typing the Dead. They have the Dreamcast on their back. Is great.
Nice.
That's how I got my typing skills like up to snuff to get a job, with computers originally. Was like practicing.
See, our parents thought we were crazy sitting there
Typing of the Dead.
Yeah. Just learning skill sets on the fly there.
Like, yeah. And
Love it. Look at the loading screen.
You have to wait. He kicks the door and then he pauses.
Beautiful. I think I would be way more excited if they announced like a T820 Saturn themed handheld.
Yeah,
with analog sticks. Like I would be all over that because that would also be a great N64 device. But an H700 in the shape of a Saturn controller, it's just more like teasing people that wanted that Saturn handheld and didn't get it with the Arc. Like, hey, we're gonna make another one, but you're still not gonna get Saturn. I hope they don't do that.
I hope so. I really hope not either. So we don't know if the ArcXX is happening, everybody. And the H most definitely is happening.
Oh yeah.
And it seems like it will be called the H. And so that one, I'm still waiting on final details for you all, just a final confirmation. Like, yes, but even drop shippers are apparently talking about it. And
interesting.
So expect it.
The cool thing there is Retroid actually extended the life of the T820 accidentally with the release of like the 5 and the Mini, because they went with the 865, and that doesn't really push the power envelope a lot from what we had with the D1100. And if you guys remember when we actually benchmarked T820 D1100 gameplay, it wasn't that different. Like it was better, but it wasn't like a huge thing. So Retroid not making a way more powerful device just makes the, what's it called now, the 406H a little bit more relevant still because of that bigger 4-inch screen. So it should be interesting.
It's going to be like probably my thinking is probably about $150 device, honestly, somewhere in that range. So it still will probably come under,
You aren't wrong, Rob. I think with that guess either, because the Cube was 140 and the V is what 150, 160.
Yep. I think they're hitting a good price point there.
It is a really good price point, and you get decent performance for that price point. So they know what they're doing in that sense.
Right
as
now,
long
the
as they don't
556 is right now the most expensive one is the 556, but you're mostly paying for the screen on top of that. For
that screen is so.
That handheld makes me.
I wish
so
we
angry.
had better sticks on that damn thing.
That's why, dude. Like, I love that thing so much at first, and I was willing to overlook so many things for it because I like the screen. But the more I tried using it, the more the shoulder buttons frustrated me, the analog sticks frustrated me, and it just made me not want to use it anymore. Yeah.
It just feels wrong.
So
like you pick it up and it's like this little itty bitty, sticks, and it's like, no, we need those good Retroid sticks on there. Something similar to it, like what they've done with the 406V. I'm like, they can do it. They just choose not to.
Yeah, I actually kind of like the 406V sticks a little bit more than the Retroid sticks.
Really?
Aish, is your CubeXX video up yet?
No, should be able to wrap it up tomorrow afternoon or Wednesday morning.
Okay, I didn't want to spoil your video just in case. Okay, I wanted to talk about the CubeXX next, but I wanted to hear your thoughts, and I don't want to again ruin your video for anybody, but do you have a few quick kind of thoughts
on the CubeXX?
Yeah,
I actually have it right here. This little guy.
It's a shame you don't have the white one. It would have fit better.
No, I'm glad I don't have the white.
I
don't really like white handhelds.
Yeah. he wants all black.
Yeah, I want all black with this.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I feel like I'm going to scuff them up and they're not going to look that great. But this one, I have so many mixed feelings about this because they did so many things that I really like the shoulder buttons being rubber membrane. That's huge for me. I like the layout of it. The D-pad's a little bit softer. I wasn't too hot on this D-pad at first just because I still miss the D-pad from the Arc. That's till this day my favorite Anbernic D-pad, and this does not feel like that. Also, this kind of feels like the whole thing depresses when you push down on it, even though it's still fairly accurate. But then H700 with that 1x1 screen, when you really get into it, you have to do a lot of things to get a lot of the higher end games to look good on that screen, unless you want giant black bars. So I just keep going back to the Cube. I feel like the Cube was a better implementation of that because you could use widescreen patches. You can get GameCube running on there, which looks pretty good with those patches too. So I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on it. I do think build-wise and the OS, this is the best XX device they've made so far. It's just a little too niche to be kind of like that crowning achievement of that line, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, no, that's fair. It's tough to say, man. I don't know. I'm excited for your video. So what day do you say possibly it's dropping?
The latest is going to be Thursday. That's the latest that video is going to be out. Because I'm also doing a little bit. I'm trying to do some benchmarking with the H700, see exactly where it sits to kind of give people a little clearer idea. And spoiler, it's pretty much dead in the middle of the 3226 and the 3566.
Okay, nice. All right. Well, that's to preface. If you want to know more about the CubeXX, check out Aish's video coming up. But be excited because there is custom firmware. There is Knulli now that's been released. We wanted to announce. You already saw that. We had a video up about that. But there's also now, MinUI. Yes. MinUI has come to the CubeXX, which gains us a very minimalistic UI, very speedy interface, and it's very just optimized and just simple OS. So we'll have some content up in this shortly, but this is exciting. What do you guys think about it?
I love MinUI. I love the simplicity of it. I love it's just minimalistic. That's great, for people who just want to pick up and play. Don't want to see lots of things on screen.
And can we appreciate for a minute just Ban's photo skills here? Look at that.
That's a great shot.
That's what I was about to say. Man, that looks good.
Yeah. Can we get a cube in red now?
Yeah, we need a red cube.
All red. That would be pretty sick.
Yeah. Andrew's been making fun of me for my pictures for so long. I was just like, all right, I'm going to start learning something else.
There you go. Well, that was a nice glow up.
Yeah.
That's a good shot, though.
Yeah, I still have MinUI on my cube. I'm mostly waiting for the release that comes with like what is it? Actual P01 support.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it's just simply going to be you turn it on, you go into Explore or whatever. That's all I need for this.
Well, there's that new P01 handheld too. That's a little Raspberry Pi inside. That's another one we got to talk about soon.
The PEX Labs device. Yeah. I'll be curious to see where that goes because right now they're still using a rectangular screen, but that's for development. They're going to move to a square one soon.
And didn't Sean Inman here, the developer of MinUI, didn't he release this for other devices too? So we're also getting like the 40XXH added and
V.
The V, okay.
So he released initial builds for 4 different devices yesterday. That was the Cube, the 40XXV, the XU Mini M, and I cannot remember the 4th one. Someone will probably know it for me, but the TrimUI brick. That's
the brick. No. Yeah. You forgot that one because we don't even have that in our hands yet, So
no, but that's not even that we have that as an option already.
Yeah.
To go. That's awesome.
The only like thing that we have that's close to the brick is something with the same screen.
Yeah, and then in other Anbernic news, the last thing before we move on is their controller, the P01. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I was a little bit what I felt was harsh in my review of it the other day, and for the $30 price point I thought it was going to be, I feel that. I mean, that's just how I feel about the controller, but I felt like it was definitely for $30, yes. But if you considered that it's actually $15, it's releasing, tonight? So it's early 6 a.m. tomorrow?
A perfect controller to give to one of your kids because you know they're going to break whatever controller you give them anyway. So it's like...
I mean, I'm only missing one from the set now to have the full 3 color options.
You don't need.
I don't know. I don't. But it's sort of at that price range of.
You've been talking to Ben too much.
He's been in the budget controller game lately, and he has been talking me into trying things out subtly without asking me, just by showing me things. And I'm like, wait, what does that Easy SMX do? $10? Wait, we need to compare this.
That was not the Easy SMX.
The whatever it might have been. The conclusion that I came away with was the Anbernic is my favorite sub $20 controller now after the review posted. $30, no. GameSir, 8BitDo. Yeah.
That's such a
at $30, they have a lot more competition for sure.
Like that tells you a lot about the controller. This is my favorite sub $20 controller.
The Data Frog is my favorite sub $20.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it tells you. I mean,
it is kind of crazy that this for it is $15. I mean, it's just I'm thinking back to like when I was.
Well, there's nothing like, but there's nothing wrong with it. Is the thing I couldn't like? There's nothing necessarily wrong with it. It's just
I get
cheap.
it.
It's just the face buttons feel cheap. That's
I'm very average on it. I mean, it's just.
But for the price point now, it totally works, and it works on every platform. And it has all the technical, features that I need out of a controller. And it has Hall sticks and all that good stuff.
It's got a huge dongle.
You get a big dongle. And so for its function, it's like, okay, it's more than worth the price at that price point. But you have to realize you're going to add on shipping. And so at that point, it will bring it up to where, depending where you live.
It's like $12 at least.
$20, $25, $27 potentially. The GameSir Nova Lite is an excellent controller at the $25 price point. So I don't know.
What really would have made this worth it is if they would have done something with their firmware to make it more compatible. So your actually docked experience works better with that controller specifically. Like that would have actually made it kind of cool. Like if you have a bunch of Anbernic handhelds or like the A700s, hey, update to this firmware and now your controller is already pre-mapped or ready to go instead of having to go through the whole thing of getting it working right.
Yeah, in retrospect, you said, it's still going to be $30 with shipping. Potentially, yes. But my thought going into it was it's $30 plus shipping on top of that. So I was thinking $45, $50. And that's why it's like, no. But it makes more sense now to me that they're going to bring it in this low. And the retail price is going to be $17, right? $17.99. And they're going to keep that pricing from pre-order date tomorrow until shipping, which it's going to ship November 12th, around November 12th. And so you can buy it for that cheaper price the whole way through. There's the purple, there's the the black, and the very interesting.
It's hideous.
Thing with the Skittles.
Absolutely hideous.
It's ugly.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's my favorite of the three, though. Believe it or not.
Of course it is.
Well,
it's got RGB, man.
Like, look at that face. It's ugly.
You should turn on the rainbow RGB too with that. It's perfect. Man,
give it a second. I don't know.
Just because we can doesn't mean we should.
Oh wait, there it goes.
I like it. It's small. It's something that probably I'm gonna in the end. It works with my Anbernic handhelds, which is kind of fun, but
I don't know. Fred's got it right
for my kids.
Chat. I think Anbernic's next move is they're going to put an H700 into the controller. And then we'll have like one of those plug and play things.
Techno Pocket did that with the freaking 88.
Yeah, this is the Techno Pocket on a budget,
I'd actually be kind of down for that.
Yeah.
Those plug and play things were terrible back in the day. So I actually would love to see
glasses.
It.
Yes.
Good though.
Yes. Well, speaking of controllers, guys, 8BitDo, this is exciting. They're making a telescopic controller, and they're calling it the Ultimate, and it's real stretchy. It's a real stretcherific controller here, and it comes in black and it comes in white. You can pre-order it now. We should be getting review units soon. I'm not sure when exactly, but this will be released November 29th, so only a month away here. And this might be really cool competition for the GameSir Galileo G8 or G8 Plus. Yeah. It's a game Bluetooth only, but
well, the big thing for me is if it fits tablets. That's the big thing for me.
If it works on the Switch, man, I'll be all over it if it works on the Switch.
It should work on the Switch, but
actually, I just put Android on my Switch, so it'll work either way. But if it works natively with the Switch, I'm down.
The other thing I don't like about it that I've seen from the images is it has like a little lip at the bottom, so like yeah, that would be a little bit annoying too, depending on what.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. Ooh. So like I'm thinking about tablets, I'm like that's
yeah.
What?
That's not a good move. What? That little lip.
There's a little lip on the bottom, so it will impede it for being able to move it up and down, kind of getting.
Okay.
So I'm glad they're getting into the game, though. I'm happy they're getting into this space because they make great controllers. So.
I don't even need to say that these things have Hall sticks anymore, right? Like they just all do now. That's the baseline. TMR.
They might be those. Yeah, I was gonna say they might be using those, but those I've been reading around. I actually have a controller that has those that they have an issue when it's not fully charged. Some of them,
really,
where you'll start getting bad inputs or they'll just stop working.
Yeah,
if the battery gets slow. So hopefully that gets fixed because the controller I got has that problem, and
it's
not too crazy about that.
It might be a one-off though, because I keep hearing that, and I read an article about this, that TMR is superior to Hall sticks. They have more accuracy, lower latency, lower power usage, and so they're technically superior. How much do you notice that when you're actually playing a game? Because the polling rate's higher apparently.
If you're playing shooters, you will notice it. Clef actually did a really good job explaining it on actually a few of his videos.
Yeah,
but they are better. Yeah, it's just at least the issue I've had, and I've seen other people have it. It's not super widespread, but it has been reported that when the battery gets low, the inputs get a little wonky. So that could be a little frustrating, unless it was just like that one batch or those first batches that were going out and the problem's been fixed.
Well,
so yeah, I'm not saying it's going to be like that forever.
I'll report back. The Tarantula Pro, I incorrectly said it had Hall sticks when I'm realizing no, it has this new TMR style stick.
Oh,
so those are Tarantula is my first TMR joystick. My second is going to be this Gulikit. We're going to unbox this tonight. This Gulikit King Kong 3 base model. This is their new TMR from AKNES. There
is it. This one?
Yeah, it should be the one that AKNES would have just sent you. Yep, it's that one.
Okay.
So we're going to take a look at that tonight. It's great you already have one. Actually, that'll be cool to talk about. I haven't used mine yet. GameStop, yeah, they're making a variation, it looks like here, called the Raptor 8, and this is a game. What is this? GameSir G8?
Yeah, it's
Galileo.
It's just a G8 Galileo. Yeah,
but it has PlayStation
buttons and a lot of red.
Oh, it has both actually. It has the Xbox license and the PlayStation license.
Gonna pop the face buttons off and put it on my G8 Plus.
Yeah, right.
And then you just return this one, Take the buttons, return it.
It's not like GameStop's hurting for money or anything like that.
Oh, totally not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could. Their stocks are worth a lot. That was a whole thing a couple of years back. I don't know where that's at now, but
not that high.
Okay. All right. Well, sorry, GameStop.
Get with the times.
Well, having said all that, let's move on to the retro. Sorry.
As soon as you said GameStop, it just got depressing.
It felt sad. So the Retroid Pocket 5, something else in sad news, is delayed. Their shipping is delayed until November 14th, but they're not doing this willy-nilly. No, they spent a month making an Android 13 OS for their RP5, which they're proud of, but in going so fast with it, they do have some bugs they need to work out, and they want to be transparent and say, hey, we want to optimize this for you. So they're delaying it to November 14th. But tomorrow, the review units are going to start shipping out to YouTubers and reviewers. And so they're going to have versions of the software that still has issues, not optimized. For instance, the battery usage in sleep mode has not been fully optimized. The audio output is not properly routing to docks or external displays. Fast charging has not been fully optimized. Video codecs for game streaming have not been fully optimized. And the new Retroid launcher has not been fully optimized. So realize the videos you see from us, from those in the scene, will be a little wonky at pre-production models. But how do you guys feel?
So I think it's great that they're delaying to get the bugs out. That makes a lot of sense. It's interesting that they want to ship out the review units, though. I would think they would just want to maybe hold off on that if it's going to be wonky to show off kind of thing. But
we said here in the article, it's like the writer here was saying, thank you for being transparent and making things right and not shipping out something bad. And the other side of that argument is, what the hell, Retro? What are you doing? They're just like, another delay, give me my candy. I want this toy right now.
Well, to be fair with Retroid, they had a plan already set up for what they were going to launch with, but because of the customer feedback, they had to make changes. So with the RAM and the new operating system, it was kind of when you look at it a month's time, that's a really short amount of time for a new product release. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they're having to push it isn't really surprising. I still think it's cool that they're getting review units out so that people see like, hey, this is a real product. This isn't just going to be brushed away. And we do have functioning units as of right now. It's just they need to polish a couple things up to get it to where it potentially could be.
Yeah.
What is with that mask?
What?
Yeah. So like to also look at it another way too is maybe getting into hands of more of us will help in terms of just troubleshooting and things like that. So that's also another way to look at it, another positive, that if there are any issues, we can at least address them or let them know, and they can kind of work on ironing all that out. So it goes both ways, and I think it is a good thing that they are delaying it. I think ship the best product that you possibly can. Yeah.
Last thing you want is another big incident where your launch has issues. I would much rather than push it back. Even let's say it's a pushback a month. That's fine as long as it's working. Because at the end of the day, we don't really have another budget Snapdragon option for emulation other than that one. So it's not like they're really trying to race anybody for that specific, I guess, niche in the market. And people already give Retroid a hard time for bad launches. So yeah, in my opinion, they're doing the right thing. Yeah. Hopefully I get a review unit though. I don't know if I'm going to get one in time.
You never know until like the day of. It seems like, because I have no idea either. But we got the mini, right? And you got a mini as well. I got a mini, yeah. You have to assume that they also want your opinion to be out there about the RP5. It's hopefully the next thing.
Hopefully they saw the video and feel like, hey, let's give this guy another one.
Yeah. I don't think it's hard to say how these companies decide, who's going to review our products, but I imagine they'll want to get as much sort of promotion and press as possible leading up to launch, and so I would assume we'll see a video from you soon, my friend.
I hope so too, because I'm actually hyped for this one. Like the mini was a pleasant surprise. I really wasn't too crazy about it, but the RP5 is the one that I'm really excited for because it's going to be pretty much a screen like the 556, but just with better parts all around it. So that's got me really excited.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. Let us know in the comments below and in the live chat here. Do you think that a delay is worth it, or do you want to see something now? And you'll say, we'll deal with it with an OTA update. Just give me the thing now, because they do say this doesn't affect performance with these bugs as far as just actually emulating a game. So I don't know, 865, Snapdragon, widescreen OLED. I'm hyped for it still. You get this sort of mid-range budget OLED, what we could call a budget OLED. It's not really, but
even if they did an over-the-air update for later to like fix the bugs later on, like once the initial impressions are out, it's really hard to put that back and change people's opinion. Even with the 4 Pro, like that, after it was updated, turned into a really good handheld. But the people still talk about the screen and all the issues that it had. And when somebody asks about it, inevitably somebody's going to comment, well, you're going to have this and that problem, even though it's already been fixed. So for a company in general, I would much rather they take a little bit longer to release it than do this. Unless you're AYN Neo. If you're AYN Neo, just get the handheld out at this point. Like, come on, guys.
Do you? So we have 4 YouTubers here. Do we want to address this comment from Lisa here? Some YouTubers say that you guys will say anything to get new for units and don't really give a real review. I don't want to say who. This is something that comes up quite a lot in the scene, not in just our scene, but like the car reviews, house reviews. You know, you just all sorts of reviews.
Is house reviews a thing?
Yeah, they're I watched a review today of like a giant blow up castle, like a 200-foot.
Okay, that's not a house.
It was the size.
I mean,
of
you
the
could
house.
turn. I mean, some may want to turn it into a house. I mean, rent is expensive.
I don't know, Rob. What's your take on this old argument here?
I mean, I buy tons of this stuff, so whether a company sends me a unit or not, I'm still going to go out and buy it and make a video on things that I enjoy making, and that's always been how my channel is. If you look at a lot of the stuff on my channel, at least most of the stuff I actually go out and buy and just cover it because I enjoy it. So and I even have my review unit of the Mini here, and I also have the Saturn model that I bought here. So
yours showed up.
Yeah, so I mean.
Darn it.
There's nothing I gain from lying on camera, and
you lose your viewers, you lose that integrity, that trust with them once that you don't get back.
Yep. Yeah, no, I spent a lot of time testing.
You can lose a brand, you can lose a relationship potentially with an ultra negative review. If you have a lot of influence, you could potentially, but most of the time, I see it more from the angle of brands want to hear what's wrong with the device. That is actually helpful data for them. As long as you're giving a fair and honest review.
When I got the Mini, one of the first things that I got from Retroid was, regardless of we're sending you this, but what we want is for you to be honest and upfront about what you think about the device. That was very clear what they asked me. And here's the thing. I get why people say this. It's really easy if you haven't actually tried to grow a channel and make videos to say, oh, they're just doing it to get free stuff, without realizing the amount of time that actually goes into properly reviewing a device. It's a full-time job pretty much. By the time you're doing benchmarks, you're getting all the shots done, you're doing all the editing, you're doing all the voice work. You would have made more money in another job and just bought the thing yourself than what you get for something free. And then if your channel is worth so little to you that you're willing to compromise the integrity of it for a review unit, you're not going to have a successful channel.
Yeah.
You can get a lot of views off just negative reviews as well, too. I could get a device and just trash talk it.
It's the easiest thing to do is to trash talk the devices. Yeah. That is the easiest type of review.
Is going to think, oh, this guy's awesome, and there you go.
Well, right. They're the only one that tells they're the only one that tells the truth.
Exactly. Whereas no, there's sometimes where you're gonna cover a device and it's gonna be bad, and if it's bad, you're gonna say it's bad. It's like
I can't tell you how much junk I got back here.
You have a lot of junk in the back.
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of junk. I would,
with my RP
I wouldn't even try not to waste anyone's time with that stuff.
Exactly. You just don't cover it. You just don't talk about it. But in the RP Mini review, I mentioned the stuff that I didn't like. Like I was very clear, like, hey, I don't like this, and this about it. But if at the end of the review, I feel like, hey, I actually enjoyed this handheld despite the fact that it has issues, what am I going to say? Like, I'm going to lie to you and say, no, I hate it. No, I genuinely like it. I have it and I'm using it and I like using the device, period.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what
I'm saying with. And for other content creators, you cannot be afraid either. Like if you develop a relationship and you feel like they're going to end the relationship with you for saying something negative about the device because it happens to be true. For one, that's not a brand relationship you would want anyways, because most of them will find value in those pointing out the quirks. If you don't point out the problems and you don't say the other side of the coin, that doesn't bring the brand any value. It's a fluff piece. And now that's like the TikTok world. I think a lot of it's built on the fluff stuff. And it's a lot harder to just only be like, oh, this is amazing in every way. That feels painful. It's like, I want to start nitpicking at it, you know, like, oh, this little thing annoys my OCD, and this might annoy you too, you know.
That's why, as a consumer and a viewer, it's important to look at multiple different channels and see what different people are saying, because somebody might get handled and they love it, and another person is gonna grab it and they're just is not gonna click with them. So go ahead and grab both of them, look at both sides, and listen to what they're saying. And just to be clear, because I just saw somebody say it in the comments, like Joey RIP. This is not directed at Joey at all. Like, Joey is a good friend of mine. I love Joey, and he has a different style of doing reviews. This has nothing to do with him. I'm just using it as a blanket statement of, like, you're gonna find some people that are just gonna trash on things, and that's it. That's the review. And you can usually tell that person doesn't really have a vested interest in sharing things with you, because most of their videos are going to be very low production, very low information. They're just, oh, this sucks, next thing. That's it.
I've definitely lightly railed on most Anbernic products in some way, just sort of in my own humorous way. You know, it's like, oh, it's here, we're another week. You know, here we are, and Zoo does that too. And
it's literally like my intro for my next video.
And we'll take them down, but it's like,
and I gotta be honest, I don't review every Anbernic either, because I can't keep up with their output.
They appreciate can't do it. I think I don't, even if they don't contact directly to bring up the facts, it's like they must watch some of this stuff and then take some of that back, because they're pre-production. They can take it back, have time to fix it. And so they need the YouTubers. You need to point out this stuff, and it needs to be shown, not just with them, with Retroid, with all these brands. A lot of the stuff we're getting is this pre-production stuff. And so it's very important to show everything, be as transparent as you can. Don't be scared away by brands.
Understand not everybody, not everybody's going to get a bad unit. Like, some of us reviewers, we might get a unit and it has no issues. So when the actual release units come out and issues pop up and we didn't talk about it, we didn't talk about it because we didn't see it. We didn't talk about it because it didn't happen to us. So if it doesn't happen to us, how are we supposed to cover that?
Yeah.
And reminder to show some love to underrated smaller review channels. Absolutely. Yes. And you know, those little channels, they're some of the best ones to honestly watch. You know, there's just no pretense. There's just like, hey, you know, I'm excited about this thing. It's just cool.
Yeah, like my channel. Go sub to my channel.
Go sub to Aish's channel. Subscribble at Aish Talks Tech. Subscribble. You're closing in at 3K pretty soon here, right? You're at 2.55.
2.55, yep. Actually, the last couple of videos that got way more subs than I thought. What's crazy is that Kinheck review, like, drive thing, actually got more videos than the RP Mini for me. I don't know what's up.
And subscribe to here, Gamers Generation. If you're a YouTuber and you're in chat and you're a smaller channel, I don't know what the definition or cutoff for that might be, but just say hi in chat. Let's highlight some smaller channels, give some love tonight. Gamers Generation as well, at Gamers Generation, I would assume.
Just the one last thing I want to say about like the whole reviewers thing, if you guys don't mind, like, just remember at the end of the day, like, we are just people too. Like, we're just people that have an interest in the hobby and decided, you know what, I'm going to put my thoughts on YouTube. So we want to play with this stuff too. We are fans like you guys. We're not perfect. We didn't go to college and take some class to learn how to do this stuff. Like, we just kind of picked it up, and we're trying to do the best we can to communicate with you guys. Hey, this is the device. Here's what I think about it. So don't take anybody's word as like the final say. Just watch a bunch of videos, get some information on it, and just enjoy whatever you pick up. Except that. Don't enjoy that.
Please don't enjoy that.
What? I'm born to
cannot wait to see that Y button on the analog stick. I need to see that thing.
It makes me feel sick.
We don't know if it's made by Datafrog or not, actually. They haven't claimed this. So this is made by some company, but it is called the SF3000.
All they need to know is Datafrog.
You sold me.
And it looks like a Vita, and it's like $29.
It's like,
we got to talk about it. But I got to get us back on what is our topic now. So shipping delayed until November 14th. Man, we really went off on one for a while there. Let's also talk about the RP Mini. So this was another drama that happened. So some people found, or at least one person found, that there was a scaling issue when you have shaders on, because the reported screen in the software is reporting above the 900, what is it, 900p that the screen is. something like that.
960.
Yeah.
And so that 2D shaders especially just look really wonky. Mikhail up from Team Retro confirmed this, and he tested it and showed us the issue as well. And we're like, oh yeah, that is a thing. And Retroid confirmed, yes, that is a thing. But the people on Reddit saying, you know, this is a hardware thing, we're all doomed, that's a little bit pitchforky. What the reality that they found from their engineers, like, oh, this is actually a software thing as far as we know so far, and it can be corrected with an OTA update. Have you guys heard anything else to counter that? Or
it can, no, that's pretty much what I heard. It's just the screens reporting a different resolution than what it actually has, and if once they update that should be pretty much fixed. But it's not. It's actually not that abnormal for OLED panels to have that issue. It's happened a few times. So I sound like I'm trying to defend Retroid here. I'm really not. But it's not necessarily on Retroid. If their supplier
send you a unit, right? So you got to shield.
No. If there's but if their supplier sends them a screen, this is for any company, and they're telling you, hey, this screen is this resolution, and you plug it in, and it's saying, oh, it's that resolution, then you kind of go off of that. Now it is their job to fix it, and they better fix it, because that's kind of a big mess up for a lot of people. But it is something, from what I've kind of read around, it is fixable.
Okay, that's really good. You know what else is fixable in the RP Mini? Apparently you can get some quieter buttons.
Oh yeah,
made by yours truly. So Aish made a very helpful video this week showing how you can get quieter buttons in your RP Mini if you are disturbed by them. If you're down with the sickness. I am not
responsible if you kill your Mini.
Well, you suggested to me before I tried it, you said go buy yourself some extra membranes just in case. So those are only a few bucks.
Like $9. Yeah.
$9 in the Retroid store on Go Retroid, and get yourself, just in case you mess up cutting the membranes. But he shows you here how to trim those down and get quieter buttons, and it's a nice guide. So
it's
I'll make
really
sure to
not
link
that hard to do. Yeah.
I'll link this in the video, but
and by the way, this is it's easy to get to the face buttons. It's not too bad.
And you don't even have stubs nubs on there, so.
Well, I just got that one, but this doesn't work just on the Mini. By the way, this isn't just an issue with them. INEO and AYN with the Odin have the same issue with the buttons, where the membranes are too tall and they smash against the shell. So you could just do the exact same thing. You just kind of have to measure it out a little bit and find the right height. I did it with my Odin, and that's how I got the really quiet buttons. I don't know if you guys remember at CES when I brought it. Like, oh, hey, look, here's what I did with it. It's the exact same process. Just make them a little shorter. And
you're trimming them with what?
With a box cutter. So if you look at the membranes, there's a hard surface that actually sits right under the button, and then there's a hollow one that actually depresses. That hard pad is the one you're cutting down to about 1 millimeter to 1.5 millimeters in height. So that's gonna make the button sit just before making contact with the shell. That's all you want to do. That way, when it comes back up, it's not smashing up against it. Anbernic actually does a really good job of that with their buttons. That's why if you like rapidly press them, you don't hear that loud clacking. It's a tolerance issue. So hopefully Retroid offers new membranes, because that would be awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. And then you have a little bit smaller, so that has more travel.
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Oh, just make it a little shorter. It's not that hard to do, and if you're worried about ruining your membranes, Retroid sells like a whole button set with a bunch of different colors for $9.
That's really not that bad.
Yeah. But which, by the way, I just want to clarify, like, not everybody hates the buttons. I've actually had a bunch of people say like they like them or that it doesn't bother them. I'm just obsessive about loud buttons, so I don't like them because I play at night, and if I'm playing at night, my wife's laying out right next to me, and I'm smashing clack 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 clack. She's gonna get mad. I don't want that.
And also, and yeah, thanks for making this video, man. But I also wanted to call out someone saying, you know, Twitch, we should stream on this podcast on Twitch. And we actually are streaming on Twitch right now, believe it or not. We just started enabling that again. So we're actually streaming, we're co-streaming to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X, or Twitter, all at the same time. And if that's helpful for you folks on those platforms and you don't want to navigate to YouTube, or if our videos maybe aren't showing up on those platforms because of the algorithm, then you can try this version. Let us know. I think the chat interactions all show up here just the same. It pools together for us. And so I have to deliberately respond to different platforms, it looks like, but it's interesting. So we're going to play around with this. But yeah, if you want quieter buttons, everybody, check Aish's video out. It'll walk you through it. And I'm okay with my RP Mini buttons. I do get why they're loud, and I see why you guys are saying that. And again, I guess I'll be called a shill for this as well, but I'm okay with them as is. But yet the screen is so small that I don't use it as much as I thought I would. And so I'm excited for the RP5 more now. When originally I said, I'm going to be an RP Mini guy only, give me the little bit bigger screen now. Please.
The Mini is just so much fun. I'm constantly...
Rob's a big Mini fan.
I just love tech that's small on the small scale, and it's just kind of mind-blowing to me what it can do, and just where we are today with it. It's a lot of fun.
I think for like small handheld is probably one of the best options that's come out this year, at least the Mini. But there's still a little bit left. There's still a little bit left to see.
It's such a good Game Boy Advance device.
Yeah, it really is.
Poor Pocket Micro.
Yeah,
dude, I
rest
know,
in peace, Pocket Micro.
It's the same price as the Pocket Micro with a better screen.
And I mean,
every
really,
time.
it's like the same size too of like gameplay.
I think
it's like. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say the value. I think also is the fact that you can now get Linux on this chipset, and so you get a Linux OLED 4x3, and that's what's cool. And Russ was showing that off this week. Batacera RockNix.
Yeah,
check that video out too.
I'm not as excited for Linux personally, just because we have emulation station on Android now. Yeah. But for the ports, then they kind of thought about it a little bit more. But for ports and all that stuff, it could be pretty cool because there's some native Linux ports that we just can't get on Android still for some reason. But yeah.
Yep. I know, guys. Well, so that's all of our retro news for today. We also have a little bit of AYN. We just wanted to ask, if you picked this up, what color did you pick up? Because I know that this was popular this week. I am going to be getting the Indigo, and
Indigo's the way to go.
Indigo's the way to go. That's what I went with.
I think Zoo's Indigo also. I'm definitely Team Indigo.
We're all Indigo here.
It just hits in the feels.
Yeah, everyone, look at this. Everybody's Indigo. And it is an expensive handheld. I mean, this is like the highest end Android. Definitely, like, if this is the one you've been looking for, you can probably sell off a lot of your other devices. But if you're just going to collect, this one is definitely a little ridiculous to add into the collection. But nevertheless, it's fancy 7-inch OLED display, and it comes in indigo, black, and white.
Look at the button placement. Like, they finally listened. That's the best part of the whole thing.
That's true. Like the whole inset, like
it looks so comfortable.
We get 8,000 milliamp hour battery.
That's nice. Yeah,
shipping in December.
I'm glad they did that. Yeah.
Hopefully, no delays on this one.
Yeah,
they were so on point the last two with the Mini and with the Odin 2. I was even doubtful with the Odin 2, and they just came in and really nailed that.
Dude, I just love how Retroid and AYN just exist to wreck INU's day.
Oh god!
You know, this is going to be in the hands of customers before the Evo.
So every time INU announces something new, Retroid and AYN are like, that's funny here.
So this is supposed to be shipping in December, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is about the same time as the Evo. If you were to look at like the Indiegogo campaign for these two, I don't know how long the Evos has been up, but it's at like 408 backers, I want to say. And the Evo, or not the Evo, the Portal, which has been up for like what, a couple of days now, is crushed it by comparison.
Yeah, because
I'm sure they've gotten some cancellations since then too. It's just
updates matter, dude. Like that's the big thing with AYN, like premium hardware, but the software, you're gonna have issues with it, or it's gonna get abandoned. That's the biggest problem with them. With AYN, you're gonna get support for the software. That's why I like that they kept the same Gen 2 chip, because now the updates for this one can just roll over to all of them.
Yeah,
and it's really good for what it is, honestly. I mean, the Gen 2 is an amazing chip.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna pick this one up, maybe if I can convince them to send a review, just because it's so expensive, and at this point, at that price, I'm like, x86 is just too tempting.
Yeah,
but it does look beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think if you have an Odin 2 or even an Odin 2 Mini,
beautiful.
You know,
that's why I have both. I have the Odin 2 and I have the Odin 2
exactly.
Mini. So it's like all this is giving me is a bigger screen, 7-inch screen. What am I gonna really take advantage
if you
of?
Love if you really love OLED and you want an 8,000 milliamp hour battery,
exactly.
This is gonna be the best screen for Stubbs to play as Vampire Survivor clones on.
Yes.
I mean, what's that game you've been trying to finish for? I don't know how long now.
Star Ocean.
Star Ocean, yeah. Finally,
I'm gonna Star Ocean.
Stretched Portal.
That PSP footage.
I know.
Haunts me in my sleep.
Hey, I had to tag you in that one. It just made me think of you.
This is great though, and
and so if you want to pick it up, it is live now. We talked. I think we were on the precipice of the campaign going live last week, but if you're interested, it's still up for another less than a month, I think, right? When's it?
Yeah,
25 days.
25 days. Okay, yeah. So
it just went up.
Yep, you still have time, plenty of time.
1,200 backers.
That's three times.
You could also wait for reviews, at this point and see what does everybody think about it. Okay, so that's good. That's all our Oh yeah, sorry, Aish.
I was gonna say, do you guys see that they're shipping it with multiple different caps, different heights?
No, actually.
For the analog sticks, yeah, I saw. I think
cool.
Discord said that there's going to be different height sticks for people that want, because the sticks are kind of small for a handheld that size, so they're going to give you bigger.
Ion Neo's their own best enemy.
It's so true.
Yeah.
They release too much too fast. Anbernic much the same way.
Well, the problem is they announce it, then they get people to back it, and then nothing happens for 3 months, and that's the biggest problem.
Yeah. And in that 3 months, they start out like 2 more handhelds.
Yep. I mean, I got my micro after I got my mini reviewing it, and so I was all in on the mini already, and just kept doing things with it, and kind of forgot about the micro. It kind of got overshadowed by it. So it takes them so long to ship a product. I have no desire to cover it. Then it sucks. I'm like, it's just really bad timing on their part. They really need to start rolling these things out in a more efficient manner.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Do you guys want to talk about this whole thing about the Copyright Office? Have you seen this? The Copyright Office won't grant DMCA exemptions for game preservation. Now, this specifically was for research companies who needed to research games, and instead of needing to drive across the country or, fly to some archive library to get the games they need for their research, they could, through emulation, digitally get those games and research them. And so the Copyright Office said, no, you will not do this. They're not renewing that exemption. So I don't know. Saw Andrew threw this in here. What do you guys feel about this?
Nintendo pirates their own games, so why should that stop anybody else? You guys hear about that? Nintendo got caught pirating their own game.
We talked about last week.
They call it pirating because that's what they call it.
I know. Right, exactly. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
And so
this sucks, man. This is not good news for emulation.
It's not good news in general, just even for preservation. It just makes no sense.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, for preservation, it's getting like dark times for game preservation, and that's something that we really do need. Like, I know that gets thrown a lot, like, it's for game preservation, and people are like fight back, like, no, you just want for piracy. But no, there's a lot of games that would be completely lost if it wasn't for game preservation. And that's including big games like, wasn't it like the original Super Mario, like game files were lost, and that's why Nintendo had to go and sail the high seas to get them back so they could put them in one of their collections. So if that could happen to the big companies, like, imagine how many games like would be lost without that.
Yeah, this is just wild to me. I don't understand this at all. Not allowing DMCA, to go through in terms of just preservation, in terms of archiving data, footage. I don't understand that. That's crazy. This doesn't make any sense to me. And Nintendo's also abusing the DMCA with the copyright strikes, you know, in terms of YouTube and whatnot, which that's a whole separate thing. But in terms of game preservation, that just I can't understand that. I mean, this is literally a museum that's trying to just preserve the history of gaming.
I mean, at the end of the day, the internet's gonna be the internet, so those games are gonna find their way. All games are gonna find their ways there somehow. So we're too far gone now to really lose anything that way. But it just sucks that people are, in general, are gonna have to. Well, not people. That the only option is gonna be less legitimate. What's the word I'm looking for? Means. Hey, what are we watching?
Yeah, what's going on here?
Video game history.
Oh, I was like, this
video
is
game history. The foundation.
Foundation.
Yeah, so like
this
is what they do. They archive things. I mean, and it's just I can't understand how they don't get the exemption.
So now,
make sense to me.
And they said it sucks because now they're going to have to, you know, fly around to big collections to find physical games to do their work. Are they actually going to do that and not just behind the scenes pirate? Oh, I don't know. That's what they said. That's what they said. But yeah, it's just kind of a bummer. Another hit to emulation, and we're gonna keep it alive. We're still here. We're fighting the good fight. I tell you what, we're emulation is magic. TechDweeb said it recently in his awesome video. Check it out. It's the one from just a couple days back. He talked about his sort of the origin story of TechDweeb, but he said in there, emulation is magic. He haven't even had me with a quick cameo with my Apple in Taiwan.
Dude, that was such a good video.
It was emotional. It got me emotional. It was such good storytelling. So yeah, check that
ending, man.
I know, Aunt Brenda. Oh man.
That's why I love TechDweeb's channel. Like he found like a great balance of, I'm gonna give you information, but we're gonna have a good time.
Well, and he's gonna be back on the show here to talk about that and other things in the D&D, the wrap up of the D&D session. So that's gonna be in November. And Aish, you were in the last one, right? So we got to have you back on for that episode too, at a minimum.
That's true. We gotta end the campaign. Yeah.
It's the finale.
We got to put him back in a tree.
Yeah.
That poor goblin family, man. Have you not done enough to them?
Dude, I'm gonna have a redemption arc, okay?
He says this now. He says this now,
he's
but
not gonna make the right choice.
He's gonna throw 3 of them out of a window, I swear.
No, I've turned to the good side now. Okay, now I'm doing things for good.
I really want you to do a Baldur's Gate 3 Let's Play.
Yeah.
Like I would watch you stream that just to see the choices you make.
I make some interesting choices. I really like those games. I just don't have the attention span for them long term.
That's a shame. That's a loss the internet's
I'll keep working on
it.
I'll keep working on it. I tried playing that Phantasmazio, metaphorical Fantasio, and it was really pretty. I really thought it was cool. I liked the storytelling. I liked it, but I only lasted an hour, and then I sort of drifted off into other stuff. So it's like I need to work on that.
Yeah. Have you played the Persona games?
I have tried all of the Persona games for about an hour, and I kind of wander off.
Yeah, if you can't get into the Persona games, you're probably not going to get into that game.
I'm trying, man. I'm doing it for you. You keep hyping it. You keep telling me Persona this, Persona that. I'm like, okay, man. I will try.
Persona 5 is a good one to get into.
Yeah, it is.
I think it'll be easy to capture your attention and whatnot.
Let me see. How do you spell
Here's
this?
the thing. If you can get into like daily life sims, you can probably get into them. But if you're not about like that daily life sim kind of grind type of game, as pretty as those games are, because visually they are great games, you're gonna have a hard time getting into them.
Metaphor refantasio.
Yeah. Him getting into these long games is probably not going to happen too well. That's why he just needs to spend like 6 minutes trying to get through the balloon level of Celeste.
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct.
But I would say if you want to try a game like that and you want something that's going to be more accessible, try Persona 4 Golden and play it in the easiest mode because you get extra XP. You can. There's a Switch version. There's a Vita version. Either one's
it's on literally everything. Yeah.
It's on everything. But if you put it in the easiest mode, you get extra experience points, so you don't really have to grind, and that makes the game a lot more enjoyable because you can just kind of sit back and enjoy the story. Which for a lot of people, that's the thing that kind of takes them out of those games. It's just having to grind a lot when you're trying to do like the daily life stuff.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right, I'll try. I'm gonna keep trying. I'm not giving up yet because some things I have come around to later in life. Yeah. And Persona and these games, I still have hope for.
I feel like the music could get you though. Like
on the claw.
The music is incredible.
Yeah, okay.
Games, yes.
Yeah, the music is so good.
I like the characters though. I just they're so easy to like. I don't know. The story's great.
Yeah.
Except for Persona 3 where the character you can pretty much turn it into whatever you want. And
Persona was Persona on 3DS as well? Did they have a version?
There were some spin-offs.
There was a spin-off, yeah.
There's Persona Q and Q2.
What about DS?
No Persona games in DS. The Shin Megami Tensei games were, but those are like the Devil Summoner and Digital Devil Saga, I think were there's two. Yeah.
Devil Saga.
But don't try Shin Megami Tensei games don't go that route.
Don't go that way yet. Okay.
No. If you can't get into Persona, you're gonna have a really hard time with Shin Megami Tensei.
I know, but Aish, if you are going to play them, you could now play them on this new Nintendo DS emulator called NooDS. Nudes, in other words. Well, it's a new.
Why have I not heard of this?
It's a new speedy DS emulator. I actually used this today, so I downloaded the Windows version and I tested it out, and it is the easiest to use Nintendo DS emulator I've ever used. They have upscaling right in the main menu. I literally launched it, pointed it at a game. It played it full speed on one of my slower laptops, and it just all worked seamlessly so far. I know that there's still early days on it, but it is very performant, and I did all the upscaling options, and it looked very pretty. And so there's an Android version, there's I believe an iOS version,
a Switch version, and it works great.
Switch version, Linux.
So for Switch emulation, if anybody's familiar with it, you'll know that emulating on the Switch sucks. It's really low powered. So even Melon DS and Retroarch have a hard time with DS games. I loaded up the NooDS emulator for Switch, 60 FPS locked with the same game that I was getting like 30 on Retroarch.
Yeah, so let's everybody, we send us your configurations. What are you using this on?
Send us your nudes.
No.
I was setting you up for that one.
It stands for subscribe to Mr. Sujano.
Subscribe to Mr. Do not send us your nudes. Your NooDS. NOO.
NooDS.
Nintendo's not gonna like hearing about this. They don't want you playing DS on a Switch. They don't like that.
Well, too bad. I just put Android on it.
But Zoo definitely.
I don't like that either.
Zoo definitely does want you playing games. And to illustrate that point, here's actually Zoo himself. Now, Zoo recently died, unfortunately, and we're really, really, we're really sad to hear it. It's not obviously preferred news for us, but it happens to all of us every once in a while, just once. And but he still had to come back from the grave to share his final thoughts about this month's spooky games that he's played.
R.I.P.
Oh, hi. It's your old buddy Zoo.
2 weeks ago, my wife got sick. Last week, my kids got sick. So you know what that means?
I am sick as a dog.
That's all right, because I got that Vicks Dayquil. It's got alcohol in it. I had a couple of those. A little bit over ice on the rocks glass. It's pretty good. I got my little lemon chamomile tea. It's real hot. I can't taste any of it. Anyway, we're going to try to review the games of the month for October because Zoo doesn't quit. I'm all about the grind. I'm not allowed to take any breaks. Stubbs says I'm not allowed to take any breaks. Everyone else is allowed to take breaks, but not Zoo because Zoo is strong for plow, so I got to do all the game of my stuff even when I'm sick. It's fine. It's fine. Shut up, Gary! Anyway, we're starting this month with a Zelda game, Link to the Past. Now, Link to the Past is a quintessential SNES game. It's actually a classic SNES game in that I'm pretty sure it was on the SNES Classic, right? Right? One of like 21 games. It's dynamite, and I'm actually kind of surprised it hasn't won before, just because it's so universally loved. You play Link, and you walk around and bebop and scat through Hyrule, and then through the Dark Realm with your magic mirror. That's the Link to the past. Huh? You like that? And you get better upgrades for your sword. You get a better shield. You get hookshot, boomerang. You know how it works. It's a classic, quintessential top-down Zelda game, and it's dynamite. Okay, phone. At the end, you got to beat up Ganon or Ganondorf. I forget whatever the hell they call him this one. I don't know. I'm tripping on Tussin and Juice. But you fight Ganon and you win and you save Zelda. Now, the theme of this month, I didn't get to that, is the occult. And this is vaguely occult related because based on the scenery and some of the Japanese artwork, Link is apparently a diehard Roman Catholic. If you don't believe me, in the actual game, when you're supposed to wish to open up the desert tunnel, there's an animation where Link kneels down and genuflects, which I always thought was funny. But the occult aspect is there's an evil witch, warlock, whatever Ganondorf is. Sometimes he's a pig, and he's using evil powers to do occult rituals on all the 7 sages to unlock the Dark Realm. But you won't let him because you're Link and you always win. I give this one, honestly, I'd probably give it a 10 out of 10, but just to be a little edgy, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. As a modern replay, there are a couple parts where it's like, where the hell do I go? Like when I was a kid, I played it and I didn't have a lot of trouble. Maybe I had a Nintendo Power help me out. I forget. Like, people tell you, hey, you need a badge that'll cause earthquakes. But when I played as an adult, I just run past some guy in the street. Like, I'm not going to talk to some guy who's his entire day just stands on a street corner. Get a job, hippie. So I maybe I missed the clue that I had to go get a badge. And then I had to backtrack. And there's a couple instances of that. It's not, a real knock. It's just kind of a manufacturing a knock to keep it from being a 10 out of 10. But it has shown slight age, but otherwise it's still a quintessential SNES ARPG. Speaking of RPGs, our next game is Koudelka. It's a PSP game, and it is an RPG, and you play a I gotta work on my words here. She calls herself something in the game you're not allowed to say anymore. So let's say she's Aroma, and there's a guy who's a fisticuffs, and he also has a revolver. And then there's a priest. Actually, I think he's a bishop, and they all have twisted little tails as they wander through this abandoned castle, monastery type situation in Wales. That's right, a game that takes place in lovely Wales, and it's always dark and gross. I actually had to turn the brightness up on my game just because it was so dark. It might be a me problem. That might be a Swan Station problem. I don't know. But I like this game. The only thing holding me back was the combat system, because you had to move your guys around on this grid, but there didn't seem to be any point. Like, there weren't any benefits to superior movement other than now you're close enough to hit. So you end up making one of your guys a primary attack spellcaster, and then you have one guy as a healer, and then you have what's his name, James. He just goes up and just punches the crap out of everyone, and your weapons break, and they always break in the most inopportune times. I hate that. And I don't know. I liked it. It had a pretty good story. It just kind of, it was much more dated, especially compared to a game like Link to the Past. It was much more dated. I'll give it, 6.5 out of 10. Our last game is Fatal Frame for the PlayStation 2. And everyone in the chat really loved it, but I didn't. I didn't really like it. I cut my finger real bad. I dropped a butter dish, of all things, and it hit a plate and exploded, and a piece of it gashed into my finger. I got sick right after that, so maybe I got cursed by this butter dish. Anyway, speaking of curses and speaking of spooky ghosts, this game is you're walking around some Japanese villa, and you have a magic camera, and you're taking pictures of ghosts, and you're slowly unraveling the tale of this girl that gets tied up and ritually sacrificed to appease the demon that lives in the basement. Ooh. And then at one point, like, it's your mom, but maybe not. But then your brother's there. You play like a prequel part of the game, a tutorial intro with your brother. But then he goes away, but maybe he comes back at the end. I don't know, spoilers. But I didn't care for it. I didn't care for it. To me, it felt like Myst with Pokemon Snap. Like, you're walking around, QuickTime event, take a picture of the bad guy. And some of the QuickTime events, like, I use save states. There's no shame in my game. But I can imagine you're playing it on, like, an original PS2, and you have 1/10 of a second to turn 90 degrees to the left and take a picture of some little boy running through kimonos. I would have thrown my controller across the room. I personally didn't think it aged that well. I thought it was kind of boring. It took me about 6.5 hours to beat, and honestly, it felt like I was playing it for 20 hours. I'm going to get people yelling in the comments like, Zoo, you idiot, you don't appreciate it. It had good sound design. And if you did have headphones on, it was kind of creepy. A little Japanese girl yelling behind you, my eyes, my eyes. And then maybe that's some people's jam, but not for me. I didn't care for it too much, but I did play with headphones on to kind of experience the whole audio spectrum. I don't know. I didn't like it. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I guess the sequels are better, and it's okay. It's just a one-trick pony. And the trick is, it's a ghost, and you slowly back up, and then the ghost is in your frame, and now there's an orange circle. Click, I got him, and I caused damage. Oh, what do you think of this? Stubbs bought me this weird clock that tracks all of our YouTube subs. Look, we have 67,000. Are you watching? Do you want to be a freeloader your whole life? Why don't you subscribe? Make that number go up, huh? Wouldn't that be neat? Anyway, I feel real sick. I think I might go throw up or pass out, or both. That'll be a fun surprise for my wife in the morning. Who knows? Maybe if I mix enough Dayquil and Robitussin, I'll join later live and just start giving my Halloween movie rankings. Spoiler alert, Halloween 1 is the best one, and it's not even close. All right, take care of each other. Take care of your handhelds. Take care of your sinuses, because they're apt to get infected this time of year. And we'll see you later. So long. Gary, why do I have to do this?
Oh my God.
What just happened?
Zoo, dude. Just
Zooted.
We make a note to never allow Zoo to have NyQuil, Dayquil,
never.
any of the quills.
He must never be sick again.
He must never not be on it. That was the best I've ever seen him.
I mean, it was 11 out of 10
Yeah.
content, obviously, but there's a toll to be taken here. There's a trade-off when you give that man too much NyQuil, and that was it's like a 8-minute video or something. I don't know. That was a while.
Zoo is not allowed to get sick again. No more breaks.
No. But I do agree with him on some of those. But Fatal Frame, come on, man. That's like the best PS2 horror game ever, in my mind.
Silent Hill fans are going to have an issue with that one.
Yeah. Well, I haven't played the Silent Hill games before. Don't yell at me, but
I'm just saying. Everybody knows the best game he talked about is A Link to the Past.
Yeah, Link to the Past, you can't beat it. I mean, you can.
That's
literally the point of Game of the Month, but yeah. Yeah, so play the games, and guess what? It's voting time now for November, and it's about to close, and so hop into our Discord, which is going to be on the screen right now.
Somewhere.
Will it show up? Where is our Discord? There it is.
There it is.
Discord.gg/retro handhelds. Vote for your games. Let's see what we bring in for the Turkey Time month of November. What is the theme? Do we know it yet? What do we vote on?
What is the theme? This is a good question.
That's
We're
a
really
great question.
prepared, guys.
It's not something we normally bring up early as the theme. We usually announce that after. So, but I know that they voted on it in the Champions Lounge, so it should be good. But yeah, vote for your games, play them, earn some sweet. What is it?
Never nominated November.
Oh, games that haven't been nominated before.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really cool one. Is it? Oh, I'm gonna go check out some of those.
Finally, give some games a fair shake.
Yeah, I mean, like, apparently someone nominated Bubble Ghost. Whatever that means.
That's stern but fair.
Here we go. Look at this.
Crash Bandicoot?
Look at this.
How
has that never won?
Well, never nominated.
Oh, not what?
Apparently.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not just one Crash Bandicoot. There's two.
There's
That's
two
crazy.
of them?
Yeah.
Never even nommed once. Okay. All right.
Wait, this can't be right. Ape Escape is in here.
Who's winning right now? Like, what's the highest for the 96 category?
That would be 1943, the Battle of Midway.
Okay. A little shmup action.
A shmup, yeah.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Little vertical shmup. You can play that on your RG
It's a nice
CubeXX.
chill game to play, sort of.
96 to 99. Currently, Crash Bandicoot has the most. Though a close second right now is Bomberman Quest.
Will I finally beat Crash Bandicoot? I've almost beaten it so many occasions.
I doubt it.
Hey,
That's support
Good
right
call,
there.
no
man.
faith in me. Come on. But
Chat wants to know if you prefer to be called Bond, though.
No, that's that one like animate guy.
Bond.
Ignore him.
Bond. Is it pronounced Ban?
Yeah, that's just how it's always been pronounced.
So no H then.
Yeah.
No H.
If you're looking at the 2000 plus category right now, part 1, the highest votes are going to Ratchet and
Sue
Clank.
is not voting for Road Trip. I can tell you that much.
Shadow Hearts. I know a lot of people have Shadow Hearts.
Actually a very solid RPG. Yeah.
What is R? Because that
Can't
one's
beat
winning
Ratchet and
too.
Clank.
Ratchet
R.
is great.
R.
And what about 2000?
Yakuza is another one that's getting a lot of votes.
Nice.
So
Oh, we're in the 2000 plus now. Okay.
yeah.
Are we talking about the OG PS2 version
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd like to play the original. That'd be cool.
with the kind of not so great voice acting?
We're
Wait,
seeing a
that's
lot
the point of Yakuza, though.
we're seeing
Great.
the point of Yakuza is the mini games. Are you kidding me? Those mini games are great.
I don't know if the
It's the
mini
massage
games
parlors.
were that big of a part in the first Yakuza though, because I think the first Yakuza
Yeah.
was trying to be a little bit more serious, like GTA like,
Sure.
before they got wild. What was the crazy one where you're the president with superpowers? I think that's the Yakuza 4.
That'd be fun.
Maybe.
PS3 though, right?
Yeah, it's on the Switch too, but that game
Okay.
got wild.
Hey,
Okay.
By
What?
the way,
What?
if you look at never nominated November, take a look
Oh,
at
well, thanks,
Z
bro. Never
in
mind.
part 2.
Ooh. What do we got there? Oh, Celeste Classic. Yeah, we're doing it.
Hey,
Hey, I already beat that one.
Pushmo is a great game. That's a good one.
Pushmo.
That's a
Yeah,
good
but
one.
I'm like,
So I know
beat it in 3 minutes, guys.
you can beat it again. It'll be very
So
people. will be
that one should be pretty
very
popular
impressed.
if you want a really easy game to beat.
That one should go in
And-
like the game of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But play these games, vote for them, show off your screenshots, and as always, you can then redeem those points when you have enough for sweet merch. You can also buy your merch at rh-go.link/spreadshop, or the links in the description. But earn it for free by playing your games of the month, and you can get some of that goodness. You can also get the bag, which is
The
highly coveted.
bag.
The bag, which I thought I had here somewhere. Where is it? I never know where my things are. But I do have my handhelds up on the shelf this week, so please be proud of me for that, at
No.
least.
I
Anyways,
feel like
yeah.
you're threatening me with that mask.
Yeah, I know.
What? What mask?
Never mind.
And while you're voting for game of the month for November, the next, what is that, 2
here we go.
days, you can also put in your nominations for handheld of the month for November.
Yeah. We want to know.
Yeah, and we'll vote for that. It'll be on the last day of the month.
What do you hope wins,
I'm
man?
curious what the nominations are going to be.
I mean, October was transparent handhelds.
Okay.
So we've kind of been spreading from just purely one thing for you.
To like genres, different genres of
Yeah.
handhelds. I like it,
then-
man. I like it.
So-
It's okay. So vote for that, and now we're tying in points, right? You will earn RH points like you do with Game of the Month.
We're trying to get that in.
Okay.
That's something that needs
That's
a little
actually a
bit.
good idea. I like that
Yeah.
idea.
We need a little bit further discussion on that one, because if people are putting in what is it? People are putting in their screenshots and submissions for Game of the Month. We need to know about it too. So maybe this November.
Also, got to
we'll start doing it.
establish some rules too, because Ban over there with his shelf full of handhelds.
What shelf? I don't see a shelf.
Right behind
There's
you.
no
Fake
shelf.
Oh, that's
background.
right. There's no shelf. It's all fake. It's
Yeah,
fake background.
This is all fake. Just ignore it.
It's not
Just
actually
Just
there.
the lamp is real. That's
Just
all we need to
ignore it.
Aish is concerned right now for us.
No, I was thinking about how many transparent handhelds like there were to actually pick from. And then somebody in chat said,
there's a lot.
cheer up. You look miserable. I'm like, no, I wasn't miserable. I was thinking about
He's in
how
deep
many
thought.
transparent handhelds there are.
There's
And
a
all I
lot
could think
of
about
them.
was like
many.
the Game Boy. And then I realized, wait, no, there's a bunch of different handhelds that they
That's-
could have gone with.
It's just your resting
Have
Aish
you heard
face.
about these
Yeah.
handhelds from China? They make a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah. I was like, wait, what?
Well, I don't mean to depress you further, Aish, but I do have
I am
something.
not depressed.
Okay, good.
Well,
Well,
we can change that.
what I'm saying
Yeah, I
is
know you
is that
can.
maybe you'll feel that way after the next segment, and I'm sorry to you. I'm also specifically sorry to Nate.
Great pivot.
Specifically sorry to Nate the Great, who already thinks I shill you waste enough, and I don't mean to shill,
You
But-
never.
but I do want to share two things, and there's a surprise unboxing here. The first one is the surprise. Okay,
Just
you ready for this?
You know what's crazy? Linus talked about that handheld.
He did, yeah, and then I bought it because I
of
was
all
like,
the handhelds, though.
of all the handhelds,
Yeah.
all the
Linus
handhelds.
chose to review in this niche, this was the one, and I had to know. I had to know what would inspire someone to get this one out of all the options, and so I bought it. And I used it.
It's like on one hand, I guess it's a good thing because he has tons of
This-
followers, and now no
Sure.
one's
Yeah,
ever going to want to
but-
look into these handhelds. But on the other hand, it
It-
would have been nice to grow.
He-
the
Yeah,
audience.
remember what
Well-
happened when Stubbs created the Data Frog? Like he
I know.
made that company. Now imagine what Linus
gonna-
is going to do with
it's
this
gonna-
thing.
It's going to come full circle tonight because we're going to talk about the Data Frog. But this is the M25. This is actually a 3566, so a higher powered handheld should be, right? It's by SJ Gam. And
Wait, what's in it?
Emulate,
My
Emulate
bros,
4.3.
SJ Gam.
it has the RK 3566, so the same as the the RGB 30 and all that. 4.3-inch display, 480 by 272, 3000 milliamp hour battery. Okay, fine, good, whatever.
I
But
cannot wait for the end of the year when we do that
Oh, look at the
RK
buttons.
3566 showcase.
So
It's gonna be so
this-
much fun.
it looks like it's supposed to be the PS Portal at home, right?
Look at how
No,
far
that's
apart
the
those buttons
Happy
are.
Meal PS Portal.
This is
The
this
best.
is this is immediately the cheapest, crappiest 3566 I have ever felt in my life. This isn't even like I would not even put Famicom,
Sir, have you
Famicom.
forgotten the E6 Plus?
Have you forgotten the R40S?
I want to so I'm gonna mail this to you guys if you
No.
want to just experience what I'm experiencing here because look at these.
Dude, it
Look
looks
at
like it's
these
going to fly out
shoulder
of your
buttons.
hands if you turn a fan on.
I'm
look at
concerned for your family having
Like-
that in your house.
look how there's no there's just no travel to those, and they're just the D-pad is just too highly raised there. The face buttons are super short, janky, cheap feeling. The joysticks are really they're cheap Joy-Con sticks and they're funnily placed. I would say this is ergonomic, but it's just so slippery
Wait,
and it's
how
very
much did you say
slippery
it
and
was?
gross. It's like $60.
No,
No. I thought you said like
And
35.
It's
I
no, it's
thought
like
you said
$60.
$6.
No, it's $60 like on a really
Oh,
good
no,
sale.
No.
I got it the cheapest I could. And it has a fingerprint magnet and it gets just worse from there. It has this LCD display.
Like,
$80. There you go from Geek Buying.
That render looks better than what you have in your hand.
look, the RK
Why?
3566 is not a high-end chipset, but geez, that's
It
doing-
deserves
no-
better,
It
though.
deserves a lot
There's-
better.
There's
Jeez.
no weight to this. Okay, there's no weight and it's just very cheap and the screen is
Call the screen.
like TFT
it's like
quality
a PSP screen.
and there's screen tearing all throughout and you
Oh,
can even see the
Oh.
tearing.
They're going with the
Ah.
PlayStation theme. They got a PSP screen in there.
And we might as well do
it
ancient
probably is
puzzle-
the PSP screen. 'cause
ancient
the
puzzle
SJM
wolf
uses it.
2 in our Crash Bandicoot theme. So
Oh.
this
Oh,
I can
That's
tell you
the
guys
best name.
that this is just not a joy to use even a little bit, even as a joke. It's not fun to use.
Now
I
it makes
was
sense why Linus covered it because it's probably the worst thing he's ever
It's-
touched.
yeah, right. And so you can make a video where you dunk on it really hard, right? You get the views.
I hate.
and
How
I'm
much
not,
did they pay Linus?
I don't
They probably didn't.
know. They probably I don't know why he did the video, but I'm not going to review
does
this.
This look like a company that has a
just-
budget.
This is just something that it's just awful. It's just there's no joy in using this at all. And it's way too much power inside of the worst shell and everything all around. I don't understand this. It has 2 backfiring speakers out the bottom for some reason. I don't understand.
That screen looks
so
all bad.
It's all jank. The buttons just get stuck, by the way, too, and you have to really reach these analogs, which they're definitely not much movement going on there, which is tough. So I just wanted to share this real quick. I didn't want to bring, a lot of attention to this outside of just sharing with you guys real quick here, just to say that I don't recommend buying this, and definitely not at $60 or at any price. It's just not fun. And I guess I'm glad that I at least tried it, because I was very curious. I actually didn't end up watching Linus's video. I haven't watched his video or his opinion. I can assume that he was probably negative on it because just how bad it is. But
not as negative as you would think.
Really?
Yeah, I was going to say not nearly as negative as you'd think.
And his mind will be blown if we show him some of the other options.
But if he were to explore some other options,
knows.
Yeah.
No. He knows about them. I've seen videos where they're talking about the Odin and a bunch of other handhelds.
Okay. He does?
Yeah, he knows about other options.
Okay.
He's even talked about him downloading ROMs before. He knows about it. That's why I think it's so weird that he covered this thing. That's what I was wondering. How much did they pay him to talk about this?
Is the square button doesn't do anything? It's just a really, it's the worst. I mean, I'm going to rank this as the worst 3566, obviously, I think in our stream, unless I get one worse before then.
Oh,
which is
see, well,
possible.
now I'm intrigued.
Okay, Rob,
if anyone wants
send him
this,
the R40S.
I will just, if
R40S
you
is
want to review
amazing.
this or look at it, I'll send it to you. But
if this was like $30, $40, I would actually say, yeah, that's kind of a deal for that chip for somebody that's really, really on a budget. But $60 is a slap in the face.
Now, the R40S is the pinnacle of engineering with its carved out D-pad cavity, which is just...
Well, how do you think I feel about the R46S?
Your screen fell out, didn't it?
I can't.
Yes, the screen fell out and the right shoulders don't move.
Well, that's your fault. You continue to buy things from that company. You should know better.
What's that George Bush quote? That's
Stubbs, you're gonna
know it, man.
Yeah.
Why do you keep buying this stuff?
Audience.
Hey, it was the square screen.
The flashing.
Oh, you're getting me.
No. Yeah, sorry guys. There's been a lot happening here behind the scenes tonight. I didn't want to disturb the audience with it, but let me get my light balance going there. There we go. Okay. So So it is the opposite case. Everything I just said about that handheld. Let me preface this by saying this should be the worst thing ever, right?
I hope they just got the render wrong somehow.
It's $30. It looks like a Vita. It looks stupid. It has a little 4.5-inch IPS display, 2 gigs DDR3 RAM, dual core 1.2 gigahertz. It has 5 to 7 hours supposedly of working time. It has games, multimedia, ebooks, and so on. And I was just opening this up like, okay, here's another, silly thing. I'll tell Bam was silly and I'll not make a video on it. But and now at least I know it
ends up in his hands.
And then I've been not as pleased with the e-waste selection this year as last year. The Data Frog is in the end, it's one I loved at the time, but it's in the end
Is it bad that I like the way this looks already over the M25?
Yeah, like it doesn't look bad.
I can't with the wide.
No, it does. It's upsetting me. The stick.
There's a few design choices here. So they've strangely put the right joystick in the top right where the face buttons would be, and the face buttons are immediately below it. There's no space in between, which is crazy. And then you have your L1 and R1 there, and L2 and R2 are actually back here as M1 and M2 buttons. Here's a unique thing though. There are 2 kickstands here.
Because one isn't enough.
So
it's for extra stability.
It's because it'll go sideways if you only use one. It's gonna fall.
And there's one mono backfiring speaker.
That's where you want that.
There's a separated D-pad, but it actually feels satisfying to use. And the face buttons are actually kind of well done, even though they're in a strange location. and the sticks are not clickable, but they service the handheld general well, and you start and select here. Here's where it gets interesting. Turn it on, and you do have a headphone out. The screen is not bad on here. It has an IPS. You have a happy welcome screen. You do have a place for lanyard, just like you would on a PSP or a Vita. I guess this is more of a PSP design. Sorry, not a Vita. This is definitely more PSP inspired, right?
I would say Vita.
But there's no screen.
Kind of like a mash between the two.
The thing that drove me crazy in the end about the Data Frog and why I did not recommend it in the end or make a video, because I'm like, oh, the screen tearing is so bad, it's not usable really. Now, custom firmware have come along and the community is still hyped on it, but I just, in the end, the screen tearing got me. So this new revision, which may or may not be from Data Frog, the SF3000, gets rid of the screen tearing. The IPS is pretty bright and vibrant, and I actually had, and it's pretty snappy, and I actually had fun. I've actually been having fun using this.
And this thing is like half the price of
$30,
right? Yeah,
and I don't screen. You don't need this, okay? Like nobody needs this.
You got chat questioning like, why does this actually look pretty good?
But it's very snappy, and the screen looks nice, and
it's because the screen is actually kind of decent. That's why it looks good.
Yeah, and the buttons actually feel pretty good. And it's actually $20. Oh my god! And now it's even cheaper. It's $23.
Excuse me.
This
is ordering right now.
So I ordered it as a joke to upset Rob and Ban, and I actually ended up playing this for about 2 hours. I'm not even embarrassed to say. Like, here's the last thing: is that it actually has the plastic feels kind of high quality. It's not leaving as many fingerprints, and it has little ergonomic butts, little bump outs. Yeah, and I actually used it. And here's where it's going to get funny. And I hope I don't get us demonetized when I show some of the features on here, but we'll see.
Are you suggesting there's some video functionality?
There's some videos that come shipped on here. I just don't know. we're gonna take a chance.
I mean, that's what the kickstands are for.
Yeah, and that's not all. So emulation works in here, and it plays up to PS1 without any slowdown that I've perceived.
And it's actually not.
And it's stretched. That's the thing, is that you can configure if you want these to be stretched. There's actual in this closed software. Okay, it is closed. You get save states. So this could definitely use some custom firmware. But the one option you get, which I am thankful for, is that you can change the aspect ratio to be full screen or the native resolutions, which thank goodness. And so I actually had fun, like just playing random stuff on here. And use L1 and R1 to go between the different parts.
Go back to Sonic.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I thought it was the early Sonic movie design.
But and the other funny thing is that this came with way too many games, way more than I was expecting. It came with like thousands of arcade games and just like decent versions too. Like there's actual named games here.
Holy cow.
Kind of blew my mind.
That's why, like
it's well curated, kind of. Like they actually said, like, look, here's the Chinese version. They actually call it out, like, hey, that's going to be the Chinese version. That's,
I gotta say, Famiclones have come a long way. They This is pretty amazing.
Do you remember back when we were like, instead of a Famiclone, just put Game Boy games on there and we would be happy? Like,
right.
Look what you can get for $20 now.
Yeah, and so for the price again. I actually might make a video on this because I actually am kind of stoked on it a little bit. Strangely, I don't know.
What I don't understand is who saw the stick placement and said, "Yeah, that's a good idea. We're gonna do that."
The other dumb thing on here too is that why did they go with a 16:9 screen when not one system on here natively scales to 16:9? None of them do. Not GBA.
Probably just because it's cheap to source.
Yeah, they probably just found a really cheap one.
And so if you don't full screen, you're going to be getting bezels on every platform.
That screen does look.
But the screen,
decent. I mean,
the colors look pretty good.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
That. And there's no screen tearing this time. And so that fixed my biggest issue with that other device.
What kind of what's the battery capacity on this thing?
3,000 milliamp hour, I believe.
I wonder what kind of battery it's using. I know, like with the SF3000, it was user replaceable, so that was kind of nice.
It's probably going to be one of those, like with the ones we saw in like earlier Anbernics.
Yeah.
Hey, I know that scale.
Yeah, it's band scale. I got it off his recommendation. Yep.
I'm really surprised how good those colors look, though. For I would expect a terrible screen at that price,
like M25 quality. Something happened. I think they switched screens by accident in the factory.
If they just fix the button stick placement, like flip the ABXYs, like you actually have kind of a decent handheld there.
How many?
6.6 ounces.
How many grams is that?
Right.
No, don't cheat. Don't cheat. Quickly convert it.
I don't know.
158.
We can turn this into learn with Stubbs segment.
160 grams.
1.5 sticks of butter. 188
grams. So not heavy and a very lightweight, and I found it easy to just sort of like one hand a bit. And it's cheap. Don't get me wrong; it's definitely cheap, but it's not. But
it's like one of those things.
It's not e-waste cheap.
But for $23 again, it's like you give it to your kid.
It's like it's better than like the V90. Technically, to me, it's better. Well, as far as like the buttons go, like the way those buttons feel, like this.
I actually like the V90 buttons, but I like Palkitty buttons in general.
And the D-pad actually works pretty well for like Street Fighter and stuff. But here's what's funny.
Sup Boombox.
Sup Boombox.
So there's a movie on
I like
here.
how we both saw that at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's just like a K-pop video.
It's from
like
TCL.
It's like a TCL advertisement, and they're in front of sports cards, but it shows off the screen really well. Like look at the
and demonetized.
Yeah, well, sure, but just the colors and stuff like of the cards.
Yeah, that screen is surprisingly good.
Yeah,
right. It's a 4K video, which is funny. Apparently, on this low-res screen.
This is a higher resolution than the M25.
Yeah, right.
Because if that thing's using a PSP screen. Oh god.
And there's also music on here, and there's some funny songs.
The screen doesn't make any sense in a device this cheap. How is this possible?
It's a music player, and it has photos. Just
watch out for the nudes.
I looked through it already to make sure it was safe for stream, but yeah, no nudes.
Good move.
Yeah, just different photos.
No kitty fumbles here.
So you could like
that's what I was thinking too.
Have this up on your countertop and like just have your family photos playing by like it's a Google Hub or something. You know, you could use it like that if you wanted. And
well, legitimately, like you could use this as a media player with those kickstands.
You
like,
could, and
and just like sit it on there.
And it comes with a copy of Little Women, the book, the novel.
I was like, what is he talking about?
So Christmas, Christmas.
And why is he so excited about this?
Christmas won't be Christmas anymore without presents, said Joe Crossley. It's so awful to be poor, agreed Meg, looking at her old dress. It's not right for some girls to have pretty things and others have nothing at all, said little Amy. We've got mother and father in each other, said Beth gently. Like, have you guys ever really dived into reading ebooks in these handhelds? Because it has the kickstand, so you can rest it up, somewhere and just kick back.
I think Tech told me he was reading Lord of the Rings and a Mini.
Yeah. So why aren't we talking about the ebook use case here? So that's not all. But wait, there's more, because there's one more feature up this bad boy sleeve.
Oh, thank you, Billy.
You can use this.
What is he about to do? Can you use it as a controller?
You can use it as a power bank to power your phone.
It is a power bank.
Yeah.
Somebody in chat said it's like, because it's not a power bank. It is a power bank.
It's a small power bank. It's a 3,000 milliamp hour power bank. It can charge your things. I just need to get the cord out. Did it come with the USB-C to USB-C?
Do you think it can charge an Ally X?
It came with a adapter for USB-A to USB-C. Wow. I don't think it'll charge an Ally X, but I wonder if it'll charge
adapter alone is worth $10 on Amazon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, hey, you're really stretching those $25.
They fulfilled their bill of materials with this thing.
Seriously,
it's just why?
It's a little
multifunctional.
Why? You're so close to making a good handheld.
And I wonder if I need to turn this off. Let's see. Do I need to turn it off to use it as a power bank?
Stubbs was so excited about this.
Yep, there we go. Wait.
Don't show your password.
I won't. Thank you, Aish, for reminding me.
It's actually just password.
It's
He's
charging.
got X.
It's charging my Samsung
That's
S24
wild.
Plus. So it is a power bank, 3,000 milliamp hour power bank.
I wonder what chip's in it.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
don't
wondering.
I
1.2.
don't know. I do not know. But
It
it's
might be
kind
the
of
same
cool.
as a data frog.
This is one of those rare instances where you get a sub $30 handheld that actually is a hidden gem. This is one of those rare instances.
So
in my mind with this unit, I don't know if there's quality control issues. There could be. We'll wait for reviews on the store and AliExpress. I do feel compelled to perhaps make a video on this. So I don't know.
No, please unplug your phone from that thing because you don't know how what's gonna happen. The battery just
Well,
blows
no.
up.
I mean, how do we got to test it, right? We got to
Yeah.
see. At a minimum, you could probably charge if the output is low enough, you could charge other like Anbernic handhelds. Let me get one.
No, we've seen what happens with the SP.
Oh no.
So when I go to click on the link to like take me to this, it's $30.
Oh, it is. Can we get
Hmm.
this? We should get this version of the store in the description and replace that other one, maybe.
Well, no,
Although,
no,
although the other store is the
No,
one
I think you know what that is. I think
it's the
because
AliExpress like new user
new
pricing.
user thing. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
So
never mind.
$30
It is
probably
30.
what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are
The-
sales.
We got
though.
we got any Greg 9 coupons or anything like that?
It's charging.
Greg is
It's
dead,
still-
man.
I still want to
I'm so
know
sad.
because we never got to find out. You know, who is he? Who is Greg?
Whom is
Whom was he? But yeah, look at this. So we're charging with my SF3000, my RG CubeXX, and it looks like
Wow,
we're
it's
getting
like
voltage
Inception there.
3.98 volts. So it's low, nice and slow.
Probably for the better.
Probably for the best.
Yes.
So I'm actually, so I'm a fan of this thing, and I think it's really cool for the money. Do I think you need it? Absolutely not. Do I recommend it over like the R36S, which for a few dollars more? No, I do not. However, if the custom firmware devs get a hold of this darn thing and they start going to town on it, this could quickly become something really cool and valuable for the money. Maybe they'll release like other color options and
Fix the stick placement.
they accidentally made something that feels joyful to use for a bonkers low price. So
This one
layout
sparks
gets
joy.
me every time I see it though. It just cracks me up.
yeah, it's ridiculous, right? It should be horrible. It should be just absolute. And these
Remember the Goonies?
these back buttons are, I mean, they're bad. They're not good. Those are not great to press
Are
on.
those
for
meant
L2
to be
and R2?
Yeah, okay.
L2 and R2,
Yep.
but
You
yeah,
guys
and
remember
this
the
is silly.
Goonies? The
Yeah.
weird guy with like the deformed face. That's all I think about
It's
when I
the
see that
Goonies
handheld.
handheld.
Yeah, it's the Goonies handheld.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
people in chat are calling it the stub station. So
There you go.
Yeah, let's call
So
it.
here I am shilling the e-waste again, but I only will do it for ones that really spark joy in me, and this is one of them.
Data frog all
The
over again.
M25, not so much. No.
What about the M17? Do you guys remember that one?
And I know I like the
it was
M17
okay.
enough.
It was okay. Yeah,
It was all right.
I wasn't too upset with that
It's
one.
the
all right.
same price as this is now.
And in my defense too, like
That's kind of crazy.
the SF2000, I was excited and hyped for just based on the color like scheme, and before we even got it, which was a mistake we learned from, where it's like you can't say that something is going to be good off AliExpress before it is. And when I got it in hands, it's like this is a severe disappointment to me, but it had a nice long longevity in the community there. But this one, a little bit of love, yeah. So that's my quick thoughts on that. That basically was my review. Maybe I don't need to make a video because that really did cover all the points anyways. Oh, man. So let's box one other thing. AKNES store just sent over this new Gulikit King Kong 3, which is it's the second controller in my collection with this new TMR technology for these sticks. This is the base model. This is their cheapest controller that they make now. And I did hear again earlier some complaints of Aish was saying, you were saying with the TMR joysticks, and this one is affected. I saw Digital Jedi mention it, that the power gets low, right? Then
the
it's going
sticks start
to,
acting up. Mhm.
the sticks start acting up, so you have input issues. So be aware of that with this new TMR technology. But the sticks do feel
those
nice.
buttons though.
The face buttons I'm actually not a fan of compared to the
They're huge,
King Kong. Max or the
No,
King
so
Kong Pro.
the actuation of the buttons is something that they changed. It's rubber
Do you
membrane,
like
but
it?
it's supposed to be. I do. It's rubber membrane, but it's supposed to be more tactile without being loud.
Oh, I don't compared to the last one. Yeah, there's well, it's a little effort to push it down compared to. Do I have the other one here? 1 second.
Oh, the Max.
Here's the Max. That's right. Yeah. I mean, that just feels a little better to me. But that doesn't feel bad. It's just a little bit swampy, murky, mushy. It's
I wonder if they changed something then, because mine feel almost
have
clicky, but
clicky.
No, they're rubber membrane, but they give me a little bit more, like when you fully press them down, they have a tactile feel. I don't know if they changed something because mine was one of the
this is
pre-releases. It was a test unit.
Oh, it is. Okay. So this I just got, so it might be retail. I'm not a fan of my face buttons, but these shoulders feel great and the triggers feel nice. You do miss out now on those M1, M2 and the extra function buttons back there. But other than that, you get that nice D-pad from your Gulikit that you're used to. This feels like the exact same D-pad that I have on here. The sticks do feel pretty sweet.
Did you notice that they have less travel? The sticks?
They do have a little bit less travel. Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, you can see that they have less travel because the pivot amount is just the area is smaller.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of that.
I'm okay with that because I'm not getting any joystick grind, which I really appreciate, which is, something that drives me a little nutty. Other things you get in the box here, just a cable, and you don't get a case this time or anything. So it's more basic. But you can pick it up if you're interested. We'll have a product page up in T-1 second.
It is really comfortable, though.
It is comfortable and ergonomic. We'll have a product page up soon. Anyways, you can pick it up in our description if you're interested. It is on Amazon, available now. Thank you, AKNES, for sending it over for review. This one, ultimately, for me so far, is not it. It's on the cheaper end. But this one here, yes, I like the Max and I like the Pro a lot. And speaking of, I mentioned earlier in the show that we were going to do a re-roll for the giveaway. I did that today. I rolled and we ended up getting standby for the King Kong Max 3 giveaway with the Gulikit SNES dock bundle. The actual winner is Magus123. This is the correct winner. Magus 123. Verified that you were in the Gulikit, in the AKNES Discord. You left a comment, you left your Discord name, you met all of the requirements. So just congratulations to you, sir or ma'am, and hit me up in DMs on Discord and claim your prize. And I will have these 2 items sent over from AKNES ASAP. Congratulations. We're going to have more giveaways and a big year-end giveaway here in December. This should be a lot of fun. We're going to give away a bunch of stuff. Just a bunch of stuff. Maybe our biggest one yet. Who knows? And Sony, can we get can we get that? So it should be on Amazon, and it's actually in a description, the easiest place to find it. I'll give you a second there. So we're gonna send those off. Gulikit, good stuff. Also heard they had a rusting issue though too, so I want to research more into what that was about.
I think that's what they were saying could be one of the causes for the stick issue.
For that issue,
they did say that my tongue's getting tied. They said that they were working on that and that should be fixed in retail units. At least that's the last I've heard from that.
Okay, cool. So that's been fixed now. That is good to know. Yeah, and that's all the. Here we go. Yes.
Controller.
Yeah. The Pro.
It's the Pro. Yeah, the Pro.
I like the Pro still.
The Pro is great. So the Pro is $59.99, but this is actually the standard, the brand new, the PMR.
See, this is one. Yeah, there it is.
PK3. It's $39.99 from AKNES. So it is at the $40 price point. Is a very nice controller. Not a fan of the face buttons though. That is a knock for me.
Oh man.
But
See,
let me know
that's
what your
why I
thoughts.
tell people you got to watch different people get different opinions because I like him, you don't like him.
Aish likes him, I don't like him.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild though what we can get at $40 nowadays, though.
You
get Anbernic.
You get gyro as well. You get a 950 watt-hour battery with this. And does this one have rumble? Does it mention?
It does. It's a pretty good switch controller.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, rumble. Yep. So
my only complaint with it was that I feel like the stick travel was less than what I would have wanted. Like it works fine for most Switch games, but if you're trying to play any type of shooter, it's a little bit jumpy.
You can use it with any platform. You can use it with your Android, your iOS.
Nice. Well, I know PC for sure and Switch. I don't know about Android. I didn't test that one.
Yeah,
but
it's showing it.
It's right there.
The sticks come off too, which is awesome.
And it feels really good. Ergonomically, I love it because it's basically just like an Xbox layout controller. So I am up for the controller. It's just that it's probably wouldn't be my first pick.
Yeah, no, that's fair. You know what I want to try out next is that those Flydigi controllers. I've never touched those before, and apparently they're kind of awesome.
Yeah,
Shem likes them. They're clicky.
They're clicky. Okay, he mentioned that, so I don't know if they'll be up my alley or not, but we'll take a look. This is compatible with Windows, PC, Mac OS, iOS, Android, Steam Deck, Switch Lite, Switch OLED, all the switches, of course. So pick it up if you're interested in that. Yeah, I think last thing we were really going to look at was just some AliExpress Halloween sales together and answer questions. If anyone has any questions for Aish, we haven't seen him on the show in a while, or questions for us, now's a great time to do that. Just kind of hang out for a few, and then we'll kind of get out of here. But we'll be posting, our latest deals of the week. And if you're interested in those deals, you can always follow rh-go.link/deals. We post it all over our social media every week, so you should see that come up. And it has the latest deals for you. We're going to be covering this AliExpress sale pretty intensely because it's going to lead us right into 11/11 sales, which leads us right into Black Friday sales, which leads us into post-Black Friday sales, Cyber Monday deals, consumerism gone amok. And then we're going to be calming down in December.
AliExpress is a whole nother level, though.
It's a whole other level.
They have a new sale every week.
Temu and TikTok are a whole other level.
That's what I was going to say. Temu is going to go off on that one.
TikTok's been going wild in some cases.
Yeah, right. But, stay tuned. We're going to share all of our good coupon codes.
$55 for a Smart Pro is a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hoping we're getting some all-time lows. I saw the 28XX is going to reach into the 20s, like the low 20s.
Yeah, doesn't Anbernic have their Halloween stuff going on right now?
In their Halloween sale, yeah. So check it out.
Hey, R36S for $29.
Yeah, now that is a recommend. The R36S, if you're getting the actual legitimate R36S,
I still enjoy it. Now?
There's clones.
There are clones of the clone.
Yep. There are clones of the clone, multiples, and some of them are not very good. So you just have to be kind of wary out there. Buy from reputable shops, buy from the choice shops. Boy Hom. Got to get your Boy Homs on.
Get your Boy Hom in the game.
My favorite is the transparent orange for that. I don't use it for that much, if at all, but I always appreciate the color. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's so
cool
a nice
looking.
Color. And for the price point, it's really solid. So
those are Famicom prices, man. That's crazy that you can get that now.
That's where we are now. Yeah, like that's how the pricing is settled. It's kind of crazy.
But you can follow and find out more about this, in the description, through our RH Weekly article, through the deals in our description, or various AliExpress links. It's the month. It's going to be the month of consumerism, so just be prepared. It's good to make a plan in advance. What do I actually need? Is there something I really, really, really need?
Yep.
Then
ETA used to say it at the end of his Amazon Prime videos, or you could just not buy anything,
or you can just you don't need to spend money.
That's always an option too.
Just because everybody else is doing it, it's the season for it. Just because we're hyping it, and obviously we do make a cut of affiliate sales, which drives and pays for what we're doing here. But beyond that, it's like you don't need this stuff. You just don't. There's so much e-waste, so much plastic, so much garbage stuff out there. buy maybe one that you absolutely love and you adore, whatever sparks joy for you, which leads us into, people do get handheld addictions. Handheld addictions are true. And believe it or not, we have a self-help group in our Discord called like Handhelds Anonymous, I believe. It's a private chat room, and you can
do we really?
We do have it, and you can ask for the role. I will give it to you. I'm in there. I fall in and out of
do they have one for band's new problem? Controllers
the
Anonymous?
Controllers.
Yeah,
it's all the same stuff. It's like filling a hole with plastic and e-waste, or whatever it is, or not e-waste. Good stuff too. But you can get carried away sometimes, and I've been there. I've had to talk myself off the ledge, like, oh, do I really need this thing, or should I invest in the stock market, or maybe pay off debt?
E-waste is the manifestation of self-hate. Buy yourself something nice.
Yes. And so all this to say, I'll get off my soapbox, but all this to say is, if there's something you've really been looking forward to, look at deals for it. But there's probably none of this that you absolutely need to survive or be at your best in your life. And so that is a caveat. We're YouTubers. We show a lot of products, but you don't need to buy everything. And there we are. There's Zoo looking over the fence.
Zoo is the neighbor's.
Wait, where's Aish? We got to get Aish on here. He needs to be. Is he behind the fence, or
he's
I took the picture.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there.
I love how we have the Andre Agassi.
Caleb looks like some type of alien in that picture.
He's just been having so much fun just doing all this stuff now.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I can't wait to see him at CES. Should be good.
Oh,
dogs are barking now. They're definitely. But if you are interested in buying things off AliExpress, I'm going to come back around this and say there are coupon codes right there. So there's Anbernic's coupon codes for Halloween, their Halloween sales. If you've been waiting to get your XXH or your V or your CubeXX, just shop around. Your SP, especially 556. I saw you guys talking about that earlier.
Some advice: if you've been looking at a handheld, just pick it up. Honestly, like if you talk yourself into, oh, there's something else coming, there's always something else coming.
Yeah,
it's a never-ending cycle.
Yeah,
that's the other coin. Right? Because you can get into analysis paralysis with so many devices on the market. So many devices. What do you buy?
Yeah, there's literally thousands of games you can play on any of those handhelds. Like, just grab one that you think is a good fit, and that's it. Just have fun.
Like producer Sony, type in like Owl Mask in there. Like you can get. You don't have to just get handhelds either. You can get like fun themed stuff. I actually have a video coming out.
You might regret this
on AliExpress.
For kids.
So the second one over, actually. The Owl Mask Dragon Wings.
Hey, you would
I'm
look
so
really
glad
good
I
with
haven't
that
really delved into.
So if you are
stuff.
interested, yes, let's go to that one. If you are interested in this owl mask, yes, I acknowledge I'm wearing an owl mask on my face.
Not.
Listen.
Who's this guy?
I got this for $3.90 on AliExpress last year. And it is through thick and thin. Every time I want to be an owl, this works. Every time I want to say hoot, mother effers, this works. It always functions as a mask. It never has any joystick drift or any issues. The plastic's pretty nice. It doesn't leave like stains for $3. And I got this, from China for nothing. And am I pre-hyping my AliExpress sale video? Maybe a little bit. But hey, you can get this and many other things. So this is just one thing. And also, if you join our Discord and our Patreon, you are part of the Owl family. So we have the Owl group in our Discord. That is who we call our patrons or our premium subscribers or YouTube subscribers. You can get them for little as $2.99 a month to support and get access to the Owl chats. You get access to the Owl discount market. So if you want to buy devices for cheaper, which we have a lot of nice devices that are used in our Discord that you can get for super, super cheap at a higher discount than our regular marketplace if you become an owl and support the old RH crew. But
Batman's not a fan of that name.
Huh? Well,
Batman does not like that.
I think owls are pretty freaking cool. They stay up late. I'm a night owl. I'm an owl. And my kids get concerned when I wear this sometimes. But you know what? They'll come around to it in time.
Smart kids.
So that's what I have to say. Okay. So with that, everybody, did you have any questions? Do we have anything starred here for the group?
Oh yeah, I wanted to show my R36S.
Hey, thanks for joining.
Kim was asking about it. She wasn't sure if it was real or not. So
the orange is pretty
There's
real.
the orange R36S.
It's nice. It's pretty.
So
it's a cool color.
They've recently released 2 new colors of the R36S.
I think someone has all the colors right in RH.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But like now they have to get there's a banana yellow, like the taffy yellow color.
Oh
wait, hold on. Chris Covers has a question, Ban.
Oh no. Do we trust this man?
Go on, Chris.
Where did he had a question?
He had a question
and then he
left.
died.
Did not explain further. Left.
Well,
no,
not
really.
I was going to say there is actually a legitimate question.
Question for Aish. Favorite game, favorite console, favorite handheld.
That's actually a tough one to answer because favorite game. The only reason I can't say a Zelda game is because it's too many. So I would say Skyrim is my favorite game ever, period. Favorite console. I'm going to say Super Nintendo just because that's the one that really made me fall in love with games. It's not the one I played the most. It wasn't my first one, but it's the one I remember the most fondly, even though I played a lot of really bad licensed game on that thing. But I have good memories of it. And favorite handheld, I want to say the Game Boy, but I think the 3DS is probably, the 3DS XL is probably my favorite handheld ever. Even from emulation and everything. With the Game Boy coming in at a very, very close second. You could just do everything on the 3DS. Emulation, like play actual 3DS games, DS games. It was a huge library.
Aish loves 3DS, man.
I love the 3DS.
Aish, why are you like this and what gives you the right?
Working theory is I hit my head too many times. Or I was just born like this. I'm not sure which one it is, but
that's fair.
Too far gone at this point.
What do you think is the mascot? Which handheld is the mascot of this channel, do you think?
The first handheld I think about this channel is the Dead of Rock.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say.
I immediately I
absolutely. Or at least the one I associate with Stubbs.
For me, the first handheld I associate with RH is the Retroid Pocket 2. Because that's the one that got me to find RH. But as time went by, like, the V90, but then the Data Frog is just the one that stands out the most out of all of them.
That's fair. I deserve that.
But I can't say it's the mascot of the channel. If I have to give this channel a mascot, I would say it's the V90.
I agree. It's been through a lot of births. It's been through a lot of births. It's been through a lot of child bearings in the server. Everyone gets
a diamond in the rough.
People
that actually give it a chance to realize how great it is.
Dude, look at this V90 here. $23. That's the new member rate, right?
You put MinUI custom firmware in there, and
it's nuts. Did I really say that I like the SF3000 more than the V90? Because
you did, and I was upset about that.
That's probably just my recency bias. Look at that yellow. Look at the satisfying snap on those things. Where's my V90?
That the chicken handheld stands above the rest.
Yeah, I think the chicken's another one.
Chicken's another one, but the V90 gets a lot of hate, man. But it's a special handheld. I actually really like the V90.
Aish, who's the worst RH member in your opinion?
Yeah, Ban.
No, can't be.
No, it is.
Yeah, it's Ban.
Why?
Why not? Because he has a fake background. He doesn't have real handhelds.
I thought you were going to say because he's Amish.
No, that's discriminatory.
Yeah,
See, you've grown so much since we've last spoken.
No, I don't think there's any bad RH members. But if I had to pick a worst one, that I would say it's bad.
Because he feeds our addictions?
No, because he started the whole beans
thing. Me. Oh, yeah.
He's the reason Reddit hated RH for a while.
Hey, no.
The beans? I think I started saying
that
the
was
beans,
Stubbs.
but
you were feeding
everything is blamed on Stubbs.
It's my
pretty
fault.
much everything's his fault.
Yeah. No, there's no bad RH.
Hold on. All right, guys. Listen, Nate the Great wants to know now, which RH member is being sacrificed next for your immortality and eternal youth?
Derek.
How do you know? Well, listen, I figure
he already has an answer.
I figure it's kill two birds with one stone by choosing Derek as the answer. One, for one, I don't know him that super well yet, and so like I don't know how much pain I'd feel for how long. So that'd be like if I need immortality for my eternal youth. Number two, Derek is making a joystick product to compete with Stubbs Nubs because you can't use Stubbs Nubs on his joystick unless we do like a collaboration. So yeah, I kind of got to stop that in its tracks, right?
That's not a sacrifice, though. Sacrificing means you have to give up something you actually love.
Confusing.
If you're not giving up something you actually like,
he's an
it's
RH
not a sacrifice.
member. He's an RH member.
We love all of our RH members.
Wait, are we talking about like anyone in the Discord, not just staff?
No, RH. Well, just say ban. It's okay.
Hey,
I don't know. I need ban 3D prints me stuff.
You can keep his 3D printer.
I don't know how to use a 3D printer.
He does.
Think about it. It's a sacrifice.
His son would flush it down the toilet, though.
It's something you don't want to give up.
No,
that's what I'm saying. Ban because you don't want to give up. Ban.
Well, yeah, I guess it doesn't. But the rule doesn't. Nate didn't say I need to sacrifice someone I love. Okay,
that's what a sacrifice is. Well, if not, it's a tribute.
Yeah,
you're tributing past Derek. You would be sacrificing Ben.
Okay.
I think we should. You know what?
No, we'll keep Derek.
Saying you'll give up Ban for your eternal life is just you saying how much you love him.
Well, Ban's the youngest because actually we found out this week that Ban was the youngest. Or no, Ban is the oldest of us as far as Discord years go. He's actually been on Discord the longest, so he's the oldest in Discord.
He's also the oldest in just everything he does.
Yeah,
his back breaks and just some of the
he was lifting an AYN
Odin.
He was listening to an AYN Odin carrying up the stairs last week, and he fell down the flight of stairs. Why he wasn't here?
Wait, you actually got one?
No.
Oh.
Well, no,
I've been wanting that for so long. I was so happy for you.
I'm gonna borrow the RH card.
Ben and I's like kind of holy grail handheld.
Yeah, I felt for an instinct there. I felt so happy for Ban that he finally got his AYN Odin.
I will get one like one day.
Just go to Best Buy.
Yeah, you can order it.
Oh, did you guys see they're selling Legion Goes and
Super
Allies and Claws at Target now?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Apparently what it's the Go that's on sale. I think it's like $4.99.
Yeah, it's $4.99 for the Go at Target.
Sale. That was in our dills this week. I saw that yesterday. Well, all right, everybody. We're gonna get out of here. We've been yammering on for a while. Do check out Aish's solo venture. If you didn't know, he is not actually with RH anymore for a while now, since July. He was with the podcast for a while longer, but he's been working on this solo project, which has been really cool and just very good videos. A lot of helpful stuff there. So go check out his channel at Aish Talks Tech. Check him out. Get him over that 3K line. And Aish, man, we're going to see you again with us really whenever you really feel like talking, but also on the Dweeb episode. And it's right there on the screen here. In November
2018?
18th? Yeah, Dweeb's on the 18th. So we'll see you back.
Gotta come back to finish that campaign.
We're going to do it. I'm going to make good choices this time, guys. I promise.
I doubt it.
Sure you are.
It's good.
It's
great.
Okay, let's just get out of here. What are we doing?
Goblins, man.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Okay, everybody. This is good. It takes me so long to scroll to find our things here. I want to thank you again so much for watching us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share to stay in the know for all of your favorite retro handhelds. And a special thanks to those channel members, patrons, and subs who make everything here for us possible. Subscriptions with us and supporting us starts at $3 a month if you want perks. And join us in our Discord to chat and play games, get some sweet RH swag, vote for a handheld of the month, vote for the game of the month for November, and join us on the next episode here where we are going to be chatting with Ban, who is it?
Oh no! Why did you ask?
Because you had the other name, right? Well, we got to communicate on this stuff.
You got to tell me this stuff ahead of time.
Well,
I'm just gonna put it on a little post.
Looks like we got Mikey
Sax next week. That's right, nice. Mr. Saxophone Man himself. So we'll see him and you all next Monday. But until then, this has been Studs with Retro Handheld saying, take care of each other on behalf of Ban, Rob, and Aish.
Bye, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Goodbye.
And your handhelds. I said that backwards.
So the one I actually